Let us get started with the React Native over here, and we will create a native app for our Android as well as the iOS using the React Native over here. And I will go to the get started over here, and we'll try to build our first app using the React Native over here. There are two ways to get started with the React Native. One is using the Expo Go, and the next is the React Native CLI. For this course, to get started quickly, we'll be using the Expo Go over here, and with this it will be much easier and quicker to get started. However, if you are already familiar with the app development, you can go with the React Native CLI over here. And for that, you need to install all of those like the Xcode and Studio and all of those other stuff. But let us go and see how we can use the Expo Go over here to create a React Native over here. And there's a simple command that we can use, which is of the npx create expo app and then the project name over here. Before we get started, we have to download and install few of the software over here, one each of the Node. So if you go over here, just type the node.js and it will take you to the node.js node.js.org, and just select your preferred the version over here. So this is the LTS, which is of the long-term support over here, 20.10.0, which is of the recommended for most of the users. But if you want to go with the current version, 21.5.0 is the one. But I have already downloaded the 20.0 over here, and what you have to do is you have to just double click on that if you are on Windows. I'm currently using the Windows over here, and just click on next, and I have already installed it, and that's why it's giving me to change or do something over here. And I'll just go and click on change over here and just click on next. And if you want to automatically install the necessary tools, this will also install the Chocolatey for the Windows, right? And you can just go and click on select that one and click next. I'll just leave on as a default one, and once this is done, right, so I'll just go back to the terminal over here, and I'll just try to check the node version. So node -version version, and I get that particular version over here, which means that I have successfully installed the node over here. And once that is done, next is you can install the VS Code if you haven't downloaded and installed that one. If you are the first time app developer, you can just go to the VS Code over here, and it will take you to the Visual Studio Code. And since this is the beginner friendly course, I will try to show you how to download this particular VS Code, right? And download the free version from here, and it will get a download for you. So I'll just go and cancel this one, right? I have already downloaded that over here, and I have you can just go and double click on that one, and it should pop up this one, and just click on next, and just go and select all of this and click on next, and then the install over here. And I have already installed that one. So if you take a look, I have already installed that one, so that's cool. So the next step will be to, if you want to run on the Illuminator, if you are on the Windows, you can download the Android Studio. But if you are on the Mac, you can download both of the Android Studio as well as the Xcode, which will be used for the iOS. And if you are on the Linux, you can also use the Android Studio as well. So for that, you can just go to the let me go to the Android STU, the iOS Studio over here, and you can just go to download Android Studio. And you should download the current version of the Android Studio, right? And I have already downloaded that one as well over here. and you can just click on this one and you just have to accept it and download that particular version, right? So 2023.1.1 for Windows. And once you have downloaded that, we are good to go. So you can just install that one, right? So it will take a bit of time if you haven't installed that one. I'll just try to go and show you how you can install it over here. And you can just click on the yes over here, and let's try to install it over here. Just click on next, and I'll install the Android Studio as well as the Android virtual device. So this virtual device is the illuminator that we are going to use later to deploy our apps over here. So we will build our apps using the React Native, and we can install it in our virtual device. So you don't need an actual device, but if you have an actual device, that's also perfectly fine. So I'll just let's create the shortcut. That should be fine, and let's wait for this one to complete over here. And let's click on the next from here and start the Android Studio from here. Let's wait for it to get started over here. And let's click on do not import the settings. Just click on OK, and let's wait for it to complete over here. So I guess it will take a couple of time over here. And from here we'll just select don't send any of the user statics to the Google over here, but if you want, you can just send it over here. So it's going to download some of the required tools over here, or the SDKs, and we'll just click on the next from here, and I'll just click on the standard, and the Studio will be installed with the most common setting and then the option recommended for the most of the user. But if you want to go custom, you can just click on custom and then select the required, all of the required things that you require over here. You can change the SDK location and the other stuff over here. But let's get started with the standard over here, so it will be much easier for you to follow if you are just installing it for the first time over here. Just click on the next over here, and it requires to download all of this, which is the total of the 1.94 GB over here. Just click on next, and I will go and accept that all of those, and also I need to accept for this one as well, I guess. And you should not have the red check mark over here, so now it looks good over here. So we are going to install all of those. So just click on this, and it's going to take, I guess, a few minutes depending on your internet connection, how fast it can download the required file over here. So let's wait for this to complete over here. And once the installation is done, what we can do is it will open up this particular window for you, and we need to start the virtual device over here. So we are not going to create any project from here, but we'll go to the more action from here, and we will go and select the virtual device manager from here. And once you select that one, it will open up the virtual device manager over here, and you will get by default one of the device created for you. So this is the Android virtual device created for you. You can also go and add a new one from here and select the required configuration, but we are not going to use that one. We will be using a default one, and you can just click on this particular play button over here, and it will go and start that particular device for you. As you can see, it is starting up, and it will take a couple of the minutes, and depending on your PC configuration, it will take time. So let us wait for this one to complete over here. Once this installation or the startup is going on, what we'll do is we will open up our VS Code over here, and let us go and add some of the extension that we require over here. So let's go and open up our VS Code over here, and let us go to the extension over here. So just click on this one, and we will search for some of the extension over here that we require over here. First is the we'll search for the React, right? React NATIV React Native over here, and we'll go and install some of the extension that we require over here. So let's search for some of the extension over here, and let me select. I will be selecting this particular React Native tools from the Microsoft itself, and let us go and install that one. And as well as I'll select this one, which is of the ES7 React Native and Redux React Native snippets over here. So this will help us to do some code snippet over here, and just go and install this one as well over here. And that should be good enough, I guess. For now we'll be just using it to extension over here, but later if we require, we'll come back and install more over here. So I'll just close the VS Code for now. And once your device is running over here, then what we'll do is we'll go back to our VS Code over here, and let's go and open up the new folder from here, and let's go to the desktop over here, and let's create a new folder. I'll just call it one as a React Native, and let's call this one as a project project over here. And once we have that, just create that particular folder, and I'll open that particular folder over here. So we have the React Native project folder, and inside this I'll just go and create one more folder that will be of the, let's say, a COUNT counter app over here. And what I can do is I'll just go and open the integrated, right click and open an integrated terminal over here. And let's go and open up that over here, and let me try to arrange this one. And here what we need to do is npx, right? So, and then we have to type some command, create dash, and then the expo dash the app. So npx create expo app, and since we are already inside this particular counter app, we will be using the same directory. So that's why I'll provide the dot over here, which will use the current directory over here. And just hit the enter, and it is locating the project file. So let me just go and open up, and now it's going to install all of the required file for us. Make sure you have installed the Node.js over here, and your npm command is working fine. The installation has been done over here, and we'll go and see what we have over here. We have the counter app, and all of these files have been installed. So later we'll go and look into all of this, but for now what we need to do is we need to go and run that particular app, right? So we will just go and say npx, right, expo start over here, and this should start the expo project over here. So using the expo grow over here, and Watchman would like to access the file on the desktop folder, so I'll just go and allow that one for now. And now you can see that we have some of the command that we can run. So if I want to open up this particular app on the Android device, I can just type A over here, and then if I want to run on the iOS device, I can just type I over here, and I can just run the open debugger, reload the app, and toggle the menu, and all of this information over here. So if you have this, also generates the QR code over here if you take a look, right? And if you have the real device, you can just go and scan this particular QR code over here, and it will go and install the Expo Go app. And also it's going to run that particular you will get all of the information about the app, so you can reload the app, you can launch the different apps. So you just need to install that particular Expo Go app from the App Center or your iOS App Store over there. But for now we will be using a virtual device over here. That's why we are going to type the A over here, and it's going to open the app on the Android device. Now you can see, and if you are running for the first time, it will go and install the Expo Go. And to run that one, make sure this particular virtual device has the look. If you go and let's go and try to create the new device over here, and you have to take a look over here, Google Play, right? This is the Google Play Store over here. So the Play Store, you need to create a device with this particular icon to install that particular Expo Go app over there. Just cancel this one, and now you can see your first application is running over here. Next is what we need to do is we need to build a counter app over here. So let's go to our app.js over here, and currently we have all of these apps over here, and we'll slowly go and explain all of this. But for now, what we will do is we'll just make use of this one, and I'll just go and remove all of this from here. So let's just try to remove all of this from here, and for now let's just keep this style so over here. And what we'll do is we need to create a to button over here. Then that button we can increment or decrement. So we haven't imported the button over here, so I can just go and type the button over here. And once we import that, we are going to use the button button over here, right? And this button we need to type the title, and title will be of the increment. So now you can see it is hot reloaded over here, and we'll see the increment button. And next we'll also create another button over here, and that button will be of the title of the decrement over here. So we got that, and in the between we will add some space over here. So I'll just add the view over here, and with this view I'll just give the spacing of the, let's say 8 over here. I guess that should be fine. So I'll just put some style, and don't worry about the style and all of those stuff. We will later and go and see what that style and all other stuff. But for now, just remember this is something like a CSS styling. It's not actually a CSS, but you can just think of something like a CSS or the style. And if you are coming from the Flutter, you can just imagine that we are adding some of the properties to our element over here. So this is of the height. We give the this something like a 8 pixel over here. In the Flutter we give a size box of the height of the 8. We are something similar we are doing over here with the style property over here. So now we have some style over here, which is of increment and then the decrement over here. And we'll also add one more view over here, or let's add the text. Let's add the text over here. So this is text. This is the text element that we have over here, and we are going to just go and instead of writing a hello world over here, I guess we will output the counter over here, right? So currently we don't have that, but let's just keep it as over here, and we'll just go and add some style over here. And currently we don't have any style, so what we'll do is we'll just go and create that particular style over here. For that, you can either go and add the inline style over here, or you can create the style over here. Let's go and add the inline style first of all over here. So for that I need to put a double curly brace over here, and font size I'll just give as a 24 for now. And if you want, you can add some more, like let's say if I want to add a font weight over here, and font weight I'll just give a bold over here for now. So now we have a simple style, and later we'll try to extract it to over style over here, and for that we'll do it on the later stage. And I'll just go and add a new view over here, and with this view I'm just going to add a style of the height of the 8 again. So we got some padding over here, and we look good over here. And the next is we will create a counter over here that we are going to use it over here. So let's go and add that. I'll go and use the use state over here, and use state from the React. I'll just import that one. You can see that it imported the use state from the React. And for that, let's go and add the default value of the use state will be 0, and I need to create a variable over here, or let's create the array. One will be of the count, and another one will be of the set count. So using the count we can get that particular state value over here, and then using the set count we can set that particular value, whether we can increment or decrement that value. This is something like this is a use state is a hook, And you can imagine, if you are coming from the Flutter, you can think something like this is of the set state or something over here, right? So what we'll do over here is we'll create a function over here, and then function will be of the increment, right? So let's have this one in the uppercase, which is of the increment, and here we are going to set the count over here. So count will be of the count plus 1 over here. And next we will have the another function over here that will be of the decrement over here, and we are not going to take any branch for now, so we are going to just set the state over here, or the set the count state, which will be of the current value minus the 1 over here. And once we have that, these two particular functions, one is to decrement and one is to increment, what we'll do is we'll go to our button over here, and let's go and add our the unpress over here. So unpress, we are going to call the increment from here, and the next will be on press over here, and on press will be of the decrement over here. So now we have an option to increment and decrement that particular counter, and in this particular style, so this particular value hello world, will replace it with the count over here, and now we got that particular value of the 0. So let's go and increment that one over here, and once I click that one, you can see it is incrementing, and once you click on this one, it's going to decrease that one. So this is our first React Native app, a counter app that we built over here, and I hope you got the point and you got the idea how to create your first app using the React Native. In our coming lecture, we will be adding more of the options over here, and for now we will stop it over here, and in the next lecture we'll come back and we'll build some more apps over here. And don't worry about all of these styles and then the other stuff like what are these over here and what is the set state. We will be covering up in our coming up lecture. We will be building much more larger application, and at that time we will slowly pick up what all of this mean. But for now, just remember that's views, text, and these are some of the elements that we basically use. That if you are coming from the Flutter background, these are you can just think this one as a container. This is of the text widget, this is of the container widget, this is of the button widget, right? And all of this stuff, right? So and these are normal functions that we usually set in our Flutter application, as well as you can think this one as a set state over here, where we are setting the count value over here. So just for that, and remember that, and we'll cover these styles on the later stage, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson. And today we are going to learn about the another core component in React Native, which is a view. So view is a core component in React Native. So let us go and create a view. For that, I'll go to the core component over here and open a terminal over here, and let's go and create a React Native project over here. So npx, right, and then the create dash expo dash app. So we'll go and create the expo app in a current folder. So let us wait for this particular, okay, so there is, so npx, okay, so I guess I made a mistake over here, so it need to be a dot over there to select the current location over here. So once that is done, it's going to install all of the required files over here, and I'll be back once it is done over here. Once it is created, let's go and start the project over here. npx expo expo str to start over here, and that should start the expo project, and we'll start in the iOS over here. So let's open the simulator over here. So let's go back to the core component over here and I'll create the new folder over here, and inside this component, let's go and create one new file over here, and let's call this one as the view or view component .nent view component.tjx file over here. And once we have that, let's go and create that particular component. So how do we create a component over here is we'll create the const, and let's have the name as the view component component over here. And once we have that, what we'll do is we'll just go and return some stuff from it. So we'll go and return a view. So once we add the view, we have to import that particular view over here, and that will be of the, we will import the view from here, right? So let's import the view over here, and our text and the status bar from the React Native. So let's remove the status bar. We are not going to use that one, so let's just remove that one. We are just going to use the view and then the text over here. So we have a view and then one of the text over here. So let's rename this one text and add something like this each let's say a view component over here. And once we have that, what we will do over here is we have a styles over here. So just we currently have a styles.the container. So for that, what we need to import a styles, it is style styles set over here from the React Native. And what we need to create is const the style over here. So let's just go and create the styles, and inside the styles we need to add this particular container. So let's go and add the container, and once we add that particular container, we added some of the styles over here. Although you can also add the inline style, but let's create it through the style set over here, which is much more recommended over here. And this is much more cleaner over here. And next thing what we have to do is we have to export this particular view from here. So we'll export the default view component. So if you don't know what is export and what is import and what is default, we'll be covering that on the coming up lecture. So once we export this, what we can do is now we can go and import it from our app over here. So let's go and remove all of this from here. I'll just go and remove all of this from here, right? So we are not going to use that one. I'll just return let's just go and return a fragment from here, and I'll import the view component from my component.the view component over here, and let's close that one over here. So I guess I have this, I need to remove this one. And you can see now we got that particular view component over here. So if I go to the view component, I just have one view, and then the text over here, you can see that I got the component over here. So in React Native, view is one of the fundamental component which is used to create the UI over here. If you are coming from the web background, you can consider it a similarity with the div, right? So, and if you are coming from the Flutter, you can consider it as a container, or you can also think as the column or the row. Later we will use the style set to convert this view to the either the row or the column. So if you are from the Flutter, you can think as a container, a row, and the column. And if you are coming from the web, you can think that it is as the div style that we can have over here. And once we add this particular view, it is something like the rectangular box that it covers the your UI over here, right? It is basically a rectangle, like a rectangle box over here. Currently you can't see because we have added the color as the white. So if I change that particular color to something like a teal over here, and once we have that, so this is currently a white color, so let's just go and change to some different color over here. And I guess I need to change that particular color over here. So let's try to go and select that particular color from here, and now you can see that we got that particular color over here in the background of that particular view. And I also had made this flex to 1 so it can cover the whole area on our screen. But if you remove this particular flex 1 over here, you can see it is a small and it only covers the area that is required by this particular view over here. So if you have a text element over here and it's only going to cover that particular view if you don't mention over here the flex over here. Since I want to cover the whole screen area, I'll just go and make this one as the flex one, so it will go and cover the whole area of my particular UI or the screen over here. And also I have the alignment over here to the center, and also the justify content to be of the center itself. And currently by default this particular container is in the column, so it's in the vertical, right? So justify content center means that it's going to place that particular the view that we have inside in the center, in the vertical, in this vertical order in the center. And if I go and set this one to something of different over here, and if I set to the start over here, it's going to come to the start. So justify content will place that particular view inside the inside that particular view in the vertical order in the center, and aligned items will place that particular item on the start flex start, which is of the start over here. So we will look much more into this configuration later on once we are looking into the row and column, but for now just consider that view is a building block. It's something like a rectangle box, or it is like a div in web, and a container or the row or the column in the Flutter itself if you are coming from the Flutter background. So once we have this particular view, we can also nest a multiple view inside. So if I go and say I can go and add the another view over here, I will go and add the inline style over here, height of the 8 over here, and I'll just go and remove this color to be of the let's go and make this one as the white color for now. So just go and change this one to be a white background, and I'll go and add the another view over here that will be of the, let's go and add a view, and let's go and give a color or the background color for this one. Setting at the background visibility, so background BSCK background color over here, and background color of the red over here. And currently this is the height and the background color, and I'll just go and also add the width of that particular. So let's go and add the WIDTH width over here, and also width of the 100 for now. So now you can see that we added that one below of that particular text, right? So this view is added for a small gap. If you can see over here, there is a small gap. If I remove that, there is no gap left. So let's add some gap over here, and this is added a new. So we have added a new view which has the rectangle box, height of 100, and then the width of 100, and then the background color of the red. So similarly, I can just copy this content over here and just paste it below over here, and I'll just change this one to something different color over here. Let's say a red and then the blue over here. So once I have the blue box, you can see I got that particular blue box over here. And let's go and copy this one from here, and let's place it below over here as well. So I'll just go and change this one to something a green color over here, and now you can see that we have a 3 different view which is of the rectangle box, and I can just convert this one to cover the whole screen area, something like 100% over here. So let's go and place the 100% over here, so it can cover the whole area or the whole width over here. And you can see that we can add a style sheet using the style using the style sheet, or you can add the inline style. So if you just have one or something like 1 or 2 styles to be added, you can just add through the inline. But if you have a large something like you want to have more styles, and you can create the style sheet over here, which is much more cleaner. So I guess that's all for this lesson. In this lesson we learned about the view, right? So view is a building block. So just remember, a view is a building block or for the UI in the React Native. And using views we can add multiple view inside multiple element inside that particular view. We can also nest another create a nested view using multiple views inside the view, so there is no issue with that one. And view is similar to the div style or the container or the row and the flex. Using the style sheet we can create the we can style it, whether it to be column or the row, or we can change the background colors, and then we can justify the items, right? And all of the stuff we can do with the view. And really important to know that there is a view. By default there is no option to add a click button press or the click to that particular view. Later we'll see how we can add the clickable option to this particular view over here. So that's all for this lesson, and hope you learned something new on this particular component. We'll meet up with the new lesson. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the import and export option in the JavaScript. So in the previous, once we created this particular component over here, which is of the view component over here, I guess the spelling has the error. So view component component, so actually it should be of the view component over here, and we need to export that one. And once that is done we are good to go. So let's go back over here, and we need to rename this one as well over here, and that should be fine. So let's go and learn about the export first of all. So once we do a export default of view component, if you don't know what is that one, you may be quite confused why we are setting as a export default and then the view component over here. And you may be already familiar with the export, or you may think, okay, I want to export this particular component, and then I want to import it over here in my particular app.js file, which we have imported over here from that particular component. So that makes quite sense over here. But what is this particular default over here, and why we are using it as a default over here? The default basically means that we are exporting this particular component as a default value over here, and we cannot have a multiple default over here. So if you have another value, and here what we'll try to do is we'll try to export another option over here, export default over here, defa default over here, and const of, let's say, a name which is of equals to the something as a string over here. So if you go and take a look, now we get an error said that the module cannot have a multiple default exports, right? So which basically means we cannot have a default keyword for multiple export over here. But what I can do is I can just remove this default keyword from here, and now I can also export the name from here, which is a name export over here. So this is a default export, which we are exporting a default component value from here, which is of this particular component. And here we have a named export, which we are just exporting a name over here. So, or we can just say this is of something like a full name over here, and this is just a named export. So here in the app, what we have to do is we can import that particular export from that particular component, from the module. We have created a view component, which is actually a module in the JavaScript. So here we can import that one over here, and I can just go and import the full name over here, right? So that is over here. So I need to import a full name from this particular component over here. And now you can see that I can have a view component, or I'll just say this is of the just a view, and I can just go and use this one as of the view over here, and it should work perfectly fine. So I can give a different name than what I have exported it from here. So I can use a different name since this is a default value for the view component, right? So I can use a different value for that one over here. It doesn't matter as long as I import from the correct module over here. Since this is a default export over here, since this is a default export, I'm going to get that particular view component over there, right? So I'll get a view component, whatever name I try to use over here, I'll get a default export from that particular module over here. So this module will export a default value of that particular view component that we have, since this is a default. So that is a point that we have to know. And if I try to make this one as just a name over here, and if I try that one, it's not going to work. So if I go over here and if I try to add something like a text from the React Native, so I need to import the name over here, and I also need to import the, let's import the text from the React Native. And you can see that this name is not reflected over here. So if I go and remove this one, and if I say something like hello over here, and it should be somewhere over here, right? I think it has been placed over below over here, since this is covering the whole the area of our UI. So what I'll do is I'll just make this one flex as the 0 for now, and you can see that the hello is placed over here. And if I try to just go and add that particular name over here, you will see that we don't get that particular name over here. So which means that the name has not been exported, the name is not there. So what I have to do is I have to use a correct name from here. So I have to import is using a correct name over here, so full name, and I have to use a full name over here. And now I can see that I got that particular text over here. So that is the difference between the name export and also the default export. So once you use the default export, and if you say this is the default component or default export, or the default value that you're exporting from this particular module, right? So this is a view component, is a module, and you can import it using any name, it doesn't matter over here. So since this is a default export, you can always use a different name and it's always going to get that particular default export. But once you have a named export over here, which is this is a named export, so this is a full name and this is, we call it as a named export over here. And once we have that, we need to match that particular export value name over here, otherwise it's not going to work. So that is a two difference between the default export and then the export over here. And also the there can be only one default export over here, you cannot have a multiple export, right? You need to take a note on that one. So I guess you got the point. And import just basically means that we are importing that particular module, right? So we are importing this particular module, and also we are importing this particular the full name, which is of the named value from that particular component over here. And this is not the React Native stuff, it's just the general JavaScript stuff over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the new lesson. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the column in the React Native. So let's go and get started over here. So I'll just go and create the new component over here. So let's go and create a new file, and let's call this one as a column component over here. .djsx file over here, and let's go and create the const of the column column component over here, and let's return from here. So I'll just go and return from here, and inside this return statement I'll return a view from here. So we just need to import that particular view over here. So let's just close this particular view, and I need to import that particular view over here. So let's go and import the view from the React Native over here. So let's just close this one over here, and I'll also go and make use of the style sheet over here. So let's import the style sheet, and we also need to export this particular module. So let's export the default the column component over component component over here, and let's also create the const of the styles, and that styles will be from the, let's go and create it over here, and let's add the container over here. For the container I'm going to set the flex to be of the 1 over here, and over here I'll just go and set this one to be of the styles, for this one to be of this particular container over here, and inside this I'll just go and add some text over here. Let me import that from the React Native over here, and let's just say this is the column component, or let's just remove this one, and we'll just go and add the value of the 1 over here, and let's just add the multiple value for this one for now. And let's also go and create the text style over here, and for this one I'll just assign the font, and then you can assign, I guess that should be fine. So once we have this, let's just go and add the style for this one. So let's just go and add these styles that will be of equals to the, and that should be good enough. So once we did that, let's go back over here, and let's comment out this one from here, and let's import our view over here. So that will be of the column column component that we have, and let's import that one over here. Now you can see that we have the 111, and let's go and change that one over here. So let me just close this one, and this will be of the 2, and this will be of the 3, and this will be of the 4, and the 5, and then the 6, and then the 7 over here. So now we can see we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 in the vertical direction. So that is the column, and by default if we assign this particular view style over here, you can see that even if we haven't assigned the flex direction, so there is a flex direction over here, what we can assign is the column. So even if you don't assign the flex direction to this particular style, the view is always on the it's in the column, or it's going from the top to the bottom, which is on the vertical direction. So now we can set the flex direction to be of the column for this particular view component. So let me just go and format this one over here, and when I say the column, we can add the multiple children over here, right? So we can add a view, inside the view we can add the multiple children. So inside the text you can add the another text, right? But in the view, if you want to add a multiple children, if you are coming from the Flutter background, you can consider this view as a column or a row over here. So here we are considering this one as a column, so we can add the multiple children over here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, these are the text. And now using this particular justify content and the align item, we can set the direction of all of the items inside of our. So let's say justify content instead of the center, just remove this one, and we can see that we have the flex end, flex start, space around, space between, and space event. So let's just set to the start over here. Now you can see that it went to the start over here, right? And even if I bring the Android device over here, so we can just look into both of those over here. So we in the Android, you can see it's on over here. We can see the 1 2 3 4 5 6 over here. So the flex start is starting the from the top to the bottom, right? And if I set this one, so let's just go and remove this one from here and add the, let's say, a flex end over here. You will see that it moved to the end of the screen over here. Similarly, let's go and change this one to be of the let's say a space around. So you will see that you get a space around, right? So you will see this, there is a space around, and there is also another option which is of the space between. So there is a space between, right? So now you see there is no space on the top, right? So there is a space on the between. So if you go and look back to that particular space around, you will see the space added onto the top as well over here, right? But if you change this one to the space in the let's go and set to the space between, so there is only the space, added space on this particular between over here, not on the top side. So once you set this space around, it's going to add the space around this particular view. And let's go and remove this one from here and space evenly. So it's going to distribute evenly in this particular screen over here. And now once this is done, so we have the justify content, which is justifying the content from the top to the bottom over here. So we have the top to the bottom over here. How you want to do that one, so you can set either to the of the center over here, right? It's going to move all of those to the center, right? So once we set that justify content should be of the center, it's going to move to the center of the screen over here in the top to the bottom over here. And if you are coming from the Flutter background, you can consider this one as the main axis and then the cross axis alignment. So in the Flutter, we have the main axis alignment and the cross axis alignment. You can consider these two properties over here as all of those. So the next is what we'll try to do over here is for this particular align item or the cross axis. What we'll try to set is, let's try to go and set that particular, so you can have the center, flex end, flex start, right, stretch. So if I go and set this one to the of the flex end, you'll see that it is moved to the end of the screen over here. Similarly, if I go and make this one as the center over here, so you'll see that it is centered over here. So let's go and try to play with all of those property over here. So we did the center, start, and the end. So now let's just go and change this one to be, I guess we'll change this one to be of the space evenly over here in the center. I guess that looks much more better. So I guess that's all for this lesson, and we learned some concept about the column in the React Native over here, and how we can use the view to create the column over here, and how we can place the multiple children, and how we can use the flex direction, and then the align item, as well as the justify content over here. And by default you can't have the column over here, so COLUMN column. There is no view or there is no component of the column in React Native like in the Flutter. But here we can convert, or we can use a view as a column or the row by defining the style over here using the flex property and the flex direction, as well as the justify content and align item. Using all of this, we can configure either the row or the column, and how we can place the item, or how we want to place the item or the children inside of this particular column, and we can do all of those stuff over here. So I guess that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture where we will learn about the row. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the Flexbox row, and in the previous lesson we learned about the Flexbox column over there. So let us get started over here, and we'll go to the component over here, and let's go and create the row component over here, .the JSX file over here. and let's go and create the our const of the, let's say, row component over here. Inside this, let us go and return from here our view. So what we'll do is we'll just go and return let's go and return a view first of all, and let me just add the one of the text over here, and let's just go and close that particular view over here, and we'll go and import the view and as well as the text as well as styles it from the React Native. And we need to export this one as well, so we'll go and export the default row component over here, and we'll also create the styles from here, and that will be of the styles that the style set that they create, and we'll add the container as well as the text over here. So this is our style of the container, and this is for the style for the our text over here. Let me just go and format this particular document over here, and once we have that, let's go and also add the view over here, and we'll just give the height of the 8 over here, and let me just copy this one over here, and we'll just go and add some of it over here as well. So let me just go and change this one to be of the 1, and this one of the 2 over here, and this one of the 3, and this one should be of the 4, and this one should be of the 5, and this one should be of the 6 as well. So we'll just add a one more over there, so let's just make it up to the 7 over here. So let's just say as the 7 over here. And once we have exported this one over here, we'll go to the app.js over here. Let's just go and comment this one over here, and let's import the row component from our component file over there. So let's just go and close this one, and now you can see that we got the row over here. So let's go to the row component over here, and what we'll try to do over here is we'll go and see this particular style that we have added to our view over here. So this is the root view that we have, and we have added the container over here, and here we have set the flex direction to be 1. So if you just want to cover up the whole screen, so we'll just give the flex direction of the 1, or else you can just go and comment out this one, and it will move it to the top of the screen. So let's go and set the flex. So let's say it is going to cover the whole of our screen over here, and then the next is we have the flex direction to be of the row, and if we change this one to the column over here, you'll see that it is on the column or the vertical direction. If you want to make it horizontal, we have to set it to as a row over here as a flex direction. And now we have the flex direction. Okay, so we have the one here in the double, so I guess we will just remove one of this one over here, and we'll just say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 over there. So this is just the background for this particular view that we have, and we have the align item, and then we have the justify content over here. So the justify content is set to be spaced evenly, and now this justify content in the row that we have the flex direction row, it will be of the horizontal, right? So this will be on the horizontal over here. So we'll just say just remove this one from here, and we'll try to center, or we'll set it to flex start over here. So it is starting from the align item is of the center, that is on the vertical direction, or in the column, right, from the top to bottom. The align item in the row, the align item is from the top to bottom. But if previously in the column we saw that the align items was from the left to right, or in the horizontal order, right? But now in the row it is from the top to bottom over here, or in the vertical direction over here. And justify content which is of the flex start over here, which is on the horizontal over here from left to right, and previously in the column it was from the top to bottom or in the vertical direction. So now we have this, and let's just set this one to the, just remove this one from here, and we'll add it to the flex start over here, so it goes to the top of this screen over here. And let's just go and add the margin top over here, and I guess we'll just add 2 of the 40 over here, so it just moved below over here, right? So we have the 40 over here, so we got that one. And the align item, we have the flex start. Let's just play around with the vertical direction or from the top to bottom for this particular row. So we have to change the align items. This will be of the, let's say, flex end, so it will go to the end over here, right? So this is from top to the bottom, so it went to the end. And now if I go and change this one to be of the center, so it will be on the center over here. Now we'll go to the justify content over here, and this is currently on the flex start. If you want to set it to the flex end, so that will should move to the end of your screen on the horizontal direction. And now if I go and change this one to be of the space around, as you know already, it will create the space around each of the item that we currently have, right? And now if I go and change this one to be of the space evenly, so it will distribute evenly in our screen over here. And that's all. I guess you have to go and play around with this one, the properties that it has, justify content, and you can set the either center, flex start, flex end, right? So just if you set it to the center, it will move it to the center over here. And if you don't want that flex direction to be one to cover whole of the screen, so you just give this one as a one, or remove that particular one, so it will move on to the top of the screen over here. And once we have that, what we can also do is you can just go and add a new view over here. So we'll just go and add the new view, and we will move this particular view inside that particular view. And I'll just set this one to be of the styles, to be of the, let's say not the styles, it's the container. Let's say this will be of the root container over here. And currently we don't have that particular view, so let's just go and copy this particular view from here, and we'll just move that one. And I'll just remove all of this property frame here, and I'm going to set this as a flex direction of the one, and this will be of the root container over here. Right, so now we have the root container, and inside that particular root container we have the another container over here. So I'll just remove this one from here, and now I can just go and copy this particular view, and I'll just go and add that particular container over here again. And now you can see that we got the another row over here. So in this way you can add the multiple row over here. All right, so this is one row and this is another one row over here. And if we go and set the flex direction to be of the one for this one, so if we go and set the flex direction, so it's going to cover the each of the half of this screen. So you've placed the two item, now it is distributed over here evenly, right? So in this way it can take up the available space using the flex over there, but we will just remove over here, and we'll just make it as the space that is only available for this particular container. So it will only take the space that it requires, not all of the space in our screen over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the text component, and in the previous we learned about the row and the column or the flex box. So let us get started over here, and I'll just go to my component folder and let's create the new file over here that will be of the text component over here, and that will be of the JSX file over here. And let's go and create the const of the text component over here, and we'll just go and return from here. Let's go and add it to UI and return a new component over here. So let's go and return a text component over here. This is a text component, and let's go and export this particular file from here. That will be of the default text component, and we'll also go and import the import from here the text, right, and that is from the React Native. And we'll also go and import the style sheet over here. That's also from the React Native. Let's go and create the style over here, style styles, which is of equals to the style sheet that create. And let's go and add some, okay, so let's just go and add the text, or we'll just call this one as a base text over here. And we'll just give a base text like a font family. So let's go and change the font family for this one, and let's also change, I think let's change the font size for now, and we'll go and add the style for this one over here, and we'll go and make this one as a style.the base text, which will get this one. So let's go back to our app over here, and let's just remove this particular component from here. Let's just go and remove this component, and we'll import our new component over here. That will be of the text component, and let's just close this one over here. And now we got that one over here, right? So this is the text component that we have, but it's quite up over there. So what we'll do over here is let's try to go and return the view over here, and let's just import the view over here, and let's just go and close it over here as well. And let's try to arrange this or let's try to format this particular doc over here. And now we will just go and add some style for this one. So let's go and add the styles for this one, and I'll just go and add the inline style for this one. So let's just go and set the flex of the one, and let's just go and set the justify content to be of the center, and the align items to be also of the center over here. So that should center our text over here. And now once we have this particular text, we added this particular style over here, and this one looks a bit smaller. So let's just go and change the font size to be of let's say a 24 over there. So we got a little big one over here. And now let's go and add the another text over here. So this will be I'll just go and say that the something like text comp, or let's just go and say the hello world world over here. And now we got that hello world over here. Currently it is on the column, since this view is on the column over here, right? So this is a column over here. So we have the in the vertical direction, this is a first text and then second text. What we can also do is we can also go and wrap the text over here, and with this text layout we can also go and add the particularly the in this way. So you can wrap the text. So here you will see that we got that one as well. This each let's say this is one, right? So you can see that this is one word each on the one single line of that particular text over there. So in this way we can also wrap the text inside the text component over here that is allowed in the React Native. And in this way, now I can create a different style sheet for the second line of the text over here. So let's go and say that I want to have a different style or font something over there. So let's say text one over there, and let's go and add the style for this one. So let's say I want to add a color of the red, and then the font size of something like let's say 20, or let's just give us a 18 over here. And now we'll assign this text one to particularly this one over there, the text one over here. And now you'll see that we got that over here. And if I go and change that one to be of the 24, let's go and see it over here. So this is one wall over here, right? And similarly, we can do the same thing for this one as well. So let's go and say that we want to add a different style. So let's go and copy this text one over here and have it over here as well, text one. And you will see that we got some error over here, and it says that the coaching is not a system font and has not been loaded through the font.load async, which basically means that it is not a system font and the Android device can't display that particular font because we haven't loaded that particular custom font. But later we'll see how we can load the custom font onto our device. But let's try to open up the iOS device and let's see how it looks over there. And here you can see it can load this particular font over here. So what we will try to do over here is let's try to have the same font for this two text over here that we have. So what we'll do is we'll just try to move this one. So let's try to cut this section, and I'll just go and set this the Y styles over here, and styles will be of the best text over here, and this will be of the styles dot the text one over here. And you will see that this particular text over here is having a best text, and all of the font or whatever style that you applied over here will be applied to the relative child text over here that we have over here. And it can also have its own style, which is of the text one, and this is the one that we have over here. And similarly, we can also add the this over here, right? So this is another text that we applied over here, and we'll just go and say this is this, and this is a one world over here, or we'll just go and add some dot 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 over here, and you'll see that the same font is applied to all of this one, because this font has this the top text has the font family of the coaching over here. And here we'll just go and override with the 18 over here. Now you will see that we got that particular applied. So it is also applying the this, right, and taking the font family, because we haven't applied the font family over here, right? It's not overwritten over here, right? So it's going to make use of the base font that we have defined here. So sometimes you want to have the same font style, and then you need to have a different formatting for each of those text that we assign inside that particular text, right? So you can do in this way. And the text also has the another property which we can use, is on press, right? So we can make use of on press, and let's go and create the one function on top of this one. So let's go and call the function over here, and function will be on press, let's say on press text. So once the on press text, and we'll call that one from here, right? So on press text over here. And here what we'll do is we'll try to import the let's try to import the set state, right? So not the set state, we will use a use state over here from the React itself. And let's just go and add the, let's say, a const of, let's say, use state, and by default let's just go and make this one as the WRLD world that we have defined over here, right? And now I can just go and copy this, and let's place it over here, sorry, I need to place this one over here. So I will get a hello world over here. So I just need to add some spacing over here. So by default there is no spacing, so let's just go and add the spacing over here. So this is one world over here. Now once we press that particular button, let's change the text over there. So the set text 1, and I'll just go and replace this one with the FRIE, let's say FRIE and the hello friend over here, and I need to add a space over there. So what we'll do over here, I'll just go and press to this particular text, right? So this is of this, so I need to press over here, and now you'll see that I got a friend over here. So this is a friend. So we can also add the press to our text. So there are a lot of the other props that you can make use over here. Make sure to go and check out the React documentation. We just covered some of the simple steps how to use the text over here. So we can also wrap, instead of the view, we can also wrap the text inside the text over here, right? So we can have a text, and inside that text we can also have the other text, and it can create the wrap of that particular, it will wrap that particular text in this way. So the text element in the React Native is a unique relative layout. If you are using in this way, so it's not using a Flexbox anymore, right? But it's using the text layout over here. So this is a text layout, not the Flexbox that we previously used, like a column and row that we assigned over there. So this means that the text element inside the text are no longer any of the rectangle box that we can define the, like the in the previously we saw in the view, we can assign the it's a box, and we can assign the like flex direction, and then the align items, justify content. All of those are not over here, so we can't make use of those over here because it's not a flex box over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, we will try to learn about the input text, and in the previous we learned about the text. So let's go to our component over here, and let's create a new file, and let's call this one as a input input. Input input, let's say input text component component.tsx file over here, and let's create the function of the input input text component over here, and let us return from here simple, let's return the input from here, input input over here. So that will be of the text input from the React Native, and let me just close it from here for now, and let's go and just go and export this one from here. Export the default text input component over here, and we'll also import the style sheet for now, and we will create it later. So const of the styl styles, which is of equals to the style sheet dot create. So that should be fine, and once we have that, we'll go to our app.js file, and let us comment out this one over here, and we will import our input text. Okay, so we mentioned that this input input text over here, but that should actually be text input, but let's just keep the name as input text over here. So once we got that, we'll see that we can't see any of those text input over here. So let's go back to the text input, and I guess we'll wrap this one inside the view over here, so that we can center that particular text input over here. So let's just move that one over here, and we will add some styles for this one. Let's just go and add the style for, let's just keep give it as a simple style over here, and
Now let's try to go over here, or let's try to create the style for this one over here. Let's create the container over here, container container, and let's just go and give some the flex of the one, and let's make this as the justify to of the center, and also align item to be of instead of center. Okay, just let's remove the background color, or let's just keep it as that, and let's just also add some padding over here, and I guess the padding will be of the 16 pixel over here, and that should be fine. So we have this container style, and now we can remove this one from here, and let's just go and add the styles.the container over here. Let me format this particular document over here. So once we have this, let's just go and add the this has a lot of the props. You can go and check out the documentation for the text input in the React Native documentation, but here we are going to use some of the daily used props over here. So first of all, we'll use the placeholder, which will be of enter the text, or we'll just say enter your name over here. So we'll just say enter your name. You'll see that we got that over here, and also if we check on the Android, we will see that we have, but it looks quite funny over here because we don't have any of the border or any of the style applied to it. So what we'll do is we'll try to go and add some style for this one. So let's go down over here, and let's add the input over here. So let's just create the input style, and I'll just give a border width of the 1, and then the border color of let's just keep the border color of the, let's change the border color to be of the something a bit darker over here, and then the border radius, I guess we'll just make it as the 18, so we'll get the some rounded corner over there, and then the width we'll just keep it as 100%, and then the margin button, I guess we don't require the margin button over here, but let's just go and set the height for this one up to, let's say, a 54 pixel over here. I guess that should be fine. So we'll just go and apply the style for this one, and a style will be of the style.the input over here, and let me format this. So now you will see that we got this one over here. So we have the name, right? So enter your name over here, and as well as the enter your name over here. So we got this particular text over here. So next, let's try to add some more props over here. And then the next thing what we will do over here, this is a placeholder that we have placed over here, and next we'll try to add some, let's say, autofocus, and let's set the autofocus to be of equals to be of the true over here. So the true means that, okay, so I need to wrap this with inside the curly brace over here, and this basically means that once we restart the app, it should focus on that particular text, and then the keyboard should pop up over there. So here, if you take a look, so it should also pop up over here. So let me just try to reboot over here or restart the app, and now you can see that the keyboard is popping up here automatically over here, and that's cool. So let's just try to, okay, so we got some, this is keep loading over here, and I guess we'll just go and make use of the Android so the iOS device for now. Next, what we will try to set over here is the placeholder, and then the keyboard type. I guess we can mention the type of the keyboard that we require, keyboard type, and then I'll just go and set this one to be of let's just go and add, you have the default email address, number pad, and some of them are specific to Android and iOS, but some of them are specific to the just a single, like the iOS or the Android. So you need to check the documentation which is supported on the both of the device, like the Android and the iOS, and which are only supported on the iOS, and some are specific to the Android. So we just need to check that one. So here input type, we'll just go and set this one to a default over here, and that should be fine. So we'll just put this one as the default over here. And if you go and take a look, we got the default is this one, so you get a text similar to the text over here. And here this is a written, if you take a look, you see this is for written, but we can also change that one to the let's go and say retur and written key, I guess written key type over here. And there are a couple of the written key type. You can see done and go next. So let's just keep this one as a next over here. Let's try to rebuild the app, and you will see that it is changed to the next over here. And but this only changed the UI over here, but the implementation, we need to do some kind of the implementation for this one. It doesn't work by default. So once you click on the next, it doesn't move to the next text field over here by default in the React Native, but in Android it is, you get it by default. Like once you click on the next, it moves on to the next text field. That is a bit different compared to the if you are coming from the Flutter over here. And in React Native, we have to do some add some extra logic over here, but later we are going to see how we can implement that one over here. Next, we can also implement the on let's listen to the text change over here. So on let's say a change text over here, this text the function over here. And for this one, for now, you can just go and log that one to the console over here. So this is going to log that whatever we get the as a text over here, and we are going to log that one to the console over here. So let's just try to go and reload the application. And if I type RICH, and now you can see that it is logging onto this particular console over here. So that's what we are going to do. You can also create the function, or you can also use the use state from the React, right? So let's just go and set the use state over here, that is from the React. Let's import that one over here, and let's just go and set the const of the, I guess we'll use the name, and then the set name over here, since this is a name. So here, instead of calling this particular, like, just go and change this or remove this one, and I'll just go and call the set name over here. So that should go and set the name, and this is the value that we have over here. So what we will do is we'll try to sort this particular text somewhere over here. So let's go and add one text over here. So let's say text from the React Native over here, and we'll just try to just close this one over here, and we will put the name over here that we have over here. So let's try to close this one, and we should be good over here. And let's try to add the view over here and style the height of the 8. So we just want to provide some spacing over here. So let's try to format that one. So now if I go and type the Richard over here, let's say CHARD over here. So now you can see that it's going to change over here. So that's cool. And the next thing that we can also add over here is the default value over here. So default value is the let's say name over here. So this is the default value that we are going to get once we open up this particular device or the app over here. So now we can see that this is a default value, but we can change this one once we enter this. We can remove this one over here. So in some cases you may want to use a default value over there, but for now let's just try to comment out this one. And we also have the another one as the value. So if you want to set the some value for this particular value, I can just go and set the same as what we have is the name over here. So I'll just set the value of this particular the state over here, the value of that particular name. and we are updating that particular name. So I guess this is the text input that we want over here, and I'll just copy this one, and let's just go and add the another one over here below this one. Let me try to format this particular document, and let me just go and add the one more the simple view over here to provide some spacing over there. So now we got that, and here we are going to change some of the values over here. So enter your age over here, and in this we are going to set the type over here. So return type will be next, and then keyboard type, let's just go and set the default type. Okay, so now we have used the keyboard type, but there is another way to use this one. So if you go over here, we are getting this particular text over here, but what we want to do over here is, okay, so let's just go and remove this one for now, and let's just remove this one, and then the autofocus, I'll just set it to the false, or you can just remove this one. So by default it's going to be false over there, and enter your age over here, and I'll just remove the value for now, or you can just go and add the new value over here. So that will be of the use state, and this will be of the age, and this will be of the set the age over here, and that should be fine. So default value also you can set it over here, which will be of the 0, and value will be of the age for this one. And on change text, what we want to do over here, we want to listen and update this particular. So once we change the value over here, we will update that particular state over here. And now we'll see that we got this text field over here, or the text input type, but we want to change that one to be of the number over here. So you can either use the keyboard type over here, or you can also use the number numeric over here. And as I mentioned, you need to change, you need to see which one is working on both of the Android and the iOS, and which are specific to each of those platform over here. Or else what we can do is we also have another option to use it over here, which is of input type over here. So input, I guess input mode over here, and input mode we also have the let's go and see that we have the decimal, email, none, numeric, and all of those stuff over here. So let's just go and set it to the numeric over here, and if you set the input type, this input type has the precedent, or it has the high priority compared to the keyboard type, right? So input mode has the higher priority than the keyboard type over here. That's why we can see that we got the numeric field over here. So now I can just enter the let's say something like 70 over here, and that should be good. So now I can just reach it over here, right? And we got this one. So here I cannot move to a next field over here because we need to implement some logic over there. In the coming up lecture, we'll see how we can do that one. So next step, we go and use the multi-line text over here. So let's just go over here, and let's try to see how we can make use of the multi-line text over here. First of all, we'll just go and create the let's go and create the input over here. So that will be of the input 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 multi-line over here. So this will be of the input of the multi-line, and I'll just go and give the border width of the one, border color, I guess that should be fine. Padding, I guess we'll be using of the 8. Width, okay, that should be fine. Height, that should be fine. And then the border radius, and then okay, that should be fine. So let's go back over here, and we'll change this one to be of the input multi-line style over here, and I'll just go and set enter your bio over here, and let's go and create this state for that one as well over here. So let's just go and set this one to be of the bio over here, and we'll set the bio. So we just want to update the bio, and then the default value will be of the empty string over here. So now if you go back, this will be of the bio over here, right? and this will be of the set bio over here. So set the bio and enter your bio. So that should be good enough. So now if you go back over here, you will see that we still don't have this. How we can set the multi-line over here is I'll just go and set the multi-line and multi-line to be of the true. So if I go back to here, now I should okay, so I have the input type of the numeric, but let's just go and change the input type to be of the text over here. And you can see now I can have the multi-line, so I can just enter some text and I can create the multi-line over here. And also I can set some of the more props over here, multi-line. So I can just say max length for this particular multi-line, let's say of 100, or maybe you can just say max character or the max length for this one to be of the, let's say 10 or 20 or 100 or how much you want. And then the number of the lines over here, we can also say how many lines you want over here. I'll just set it to of the 5 over here. And now if you run on the Android device, it should be actually a multi-line over here, but let's go and check. Okay, so I guess I need to remove this height from here, so let's just go and remove that one. Now we'll see that this is the multi-line over here, and I can go over here, but you can see in the iOS it looks a bit odd over here. So that is a difference between the multi-line in the native iOS and then the Android over here. So I can just go and add some over here, text over here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and I can add because I have set the maximum length of to be of the 10 over here. And similarly I can just go and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then I can set the more value over there. So for the iOS, what we will do is we'll try to create the we need to wrap this one actually in the view to make it larger. By default this can't be done with the text input in the iOS. We need to wrap this one with the view, and then we need to set the we need to add a style over there so it can fill. You can assign the height for this one over here. You can also set something like the editable to be of the true or the false over here. So let's see if I set to the false, and I can't add the keyboard over here because this is disabled already. So if you set it editable to be false, you can't enter that particular value over here. So these are some of the basic that we need to remember, the pops over here. And if you need to know more, you can go and check out the documentation on the React Native side, where you will learn much of the more stuff over there. But for now, I guess that's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, what we'll try to do over here is, once we click on this particular next, the soft key over here, we want to navigate, or we want to focus on this particular text or input over here. So currently we don't have any option to over there. So what we can do is we'll use let's say use ref, not the user, use ref from the React itself. So it's not the React Native specific, but it's coming from the React. So using the ref, use ref hook over here, this is a hook over here, we can access the property of this particular text over here, or the text input over here. So we want to access the properties or the method from this particular text or the input text. So let's go and call this one as the const, and I think I'll just make this one as the href, or you can just give any name over here. Name doesn't matter, but I'm just going to say it as the, okay, so this one should be of the const over here, const href, and I'm going to assign this one to our h text input over here. So it has a ref, the property over here, and I'm going to assign it to the href. So now using this href over here, or the reference, I can
reference this text input field over here, and I can access the properties over here as well as the methods of this text input. So what I will do over here is there is another method over here. I'm going to use the onSubmit editing. So call back that each call when the text input submit the button is pressed. So whenever we click on this particular button, we want this onSubmit editing is called. Make sure to go and check out the documentation. In the documentation, it is written more clearly. So what I want to do is once the submit button is clicked over there, right, I want to have the callback function. So this is the I want to call the href that the current. So I want to access this particular I want to get the reference to this particular text input, and I want to focus. So once I say that focus on here, it's going to have the cursor focus over here. So let's just try to go and let's try to reload the application over here, and let's try to go over here. So let's try to go and type something over here, RICHARD over here, and I'll just go and click on the next, and now you can see it is populating over here. So now the text field is focused on the edge over here. So we'll go and do the same thing over here. Let's try to bring up the soft input keyboard over here. So let's say even, and just click on next. So now you can see that it has the focus onto this particular edge over here. That's cool. So what we have done, okay, so let's go back to Android over here, and we got some error, and let's take a look what is that particular invalid value. So let's go and take a look over here, age value. So I need to convert this one to string over here. That is let's try to convert, since this is a number, I need to convert it to the string because the value is of the type is of the string over here. So now that error should be gone. So let's try to go and reload the app over here, and the default is over there. So I'll just go and type something over here and click on next, and we got that particular number over here. That's good. So it is working fine, and on click next it should also navigate. So I will give you as some homework to navigate to the another multi-line. This is the multi-line text of the bio. So if you have over here, once you click on the next over here, it should navigate over here. So that's all I think, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. So make sure you complete the next over here. In the iOS it works a bit different, or with the number pad over here you can't get the next, but in the Android you will see that we have the next button, because if you go over here, the return type is also of the next over here. And that's all, and let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, what we would like to do over here is for this particular multi-line in our iOS device, we want to detect whether this particular device is iOS or then the Android. So if it is of the iOS, then we want to set the height for this particular the multi-line text field over here, so text input over here. So let's go back over here, and in our multi-line input over here, we want to detect whether this is the OS each or the platform each of the iOS or of the Android. So what we'll do over here is we'll go and set the height over here. So currently we don't have the height. Let's just go and set the height of the 100, but I would also like to set the platform, so PLAT, right? So I need to import the platform from the React Native over here. So if the platform dot each of the iOS, right? So if the platform dot the OS each, or if it is a truthy over here, this is a pure JS type, not the related to the React Native over here. So we check whether it's the type is of the OS is of the type is of the iOS, right? Then we want to set the let's say the height each of the 100, or else we want to set it as the
we want to set some different height over here based on that. It will be best for the Android over here. So what we will do over here is we'll try to set this one to the null value over here. So if it is of the iOS, then set it to 100, otherwise just set it to the null. So let's just try to go and rebuild our iOS and then the Android app over here. So we'll just go and see that it is working perfectly fine. So now we have the iOS over here as well as the Android. So I just need to make sure that the editable is of the true over here, not the false over here. So now we can edit it over here. That's cool. And let us also try to fix this particular text over here. So you can see the starting point of this text is on the top, but if you go back to the Android, the starting point is onto the center over here. So let's go back over here to the multi-line over here, and what we'll do over here is we will assign the text alignment over here. So the text alignment vertical, and we'll set it to the top over here. So that should fix that particular issue over here. So now the text is aligned to the top of this particular text input over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we learn about the platform over here, to how to integrate the platform specific code, so based on the Android or the iOS over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.
Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the image component in the React Native. So let us go and get started. So let's go to the components over here and let's create the new file. I'll call it as a image component.djsx file over here, or you can create or give your own name. So I'll just go and create the const of the image component over here, and from here we are going to return the image over here. And let's go down over here. Let me export this one first. export export over here. export over here, and I'll also go and create the, let's go and create the setter first. So sty, I guess you know the drill already, so what we have to do. And now we got added that. So let's go on to the top, and I'll just go and import the required component over here. So I require a view image text. I don't require it over here. Style sheet I require, and I require the image from the React Native over here. And from here I'm going to return a view, and this contains the styles.the container. So we need to go and create the and I guess that should be fine. Let's just go and add the padding as well over here. So padding will be of around 16 pixel. I guess that should be fine. So we got that, and here we have added the image view over here. And style, I guess we'll go and create the not the inline. So let's just go and create the style below this one. So let's just create the logo over here. So I'll just say sm small logo or something. So let's just go call it a small logo of width of the 50 by 50. I guess that should be fine for now. So let's just go and set this style over here. That will be of the styles dot we have this small logo over here. And in the source we need to define what or the source of that particular image. There are multiple source. For now let's just go and look into the local source, which will be inside of our project, and later we'll see how to fetch it from the web, right? So first let's go and add some assets over here. We already have some assets, but let's try to go and add some image over here. I'll try to go and add the let's say a supercar image over here, supercar.jpg image. So I'll just go and rename, or let's just copy the name of this particular image, and I'll just go to this particular location, and inside this I have the image, right? So let's just go and
have that over here. And once we have that, I guess we have to put a double dot because we need to go back from this particular component to the assets. So let's go back over here and let's just remove this one from here. Let's comment out this one, and we will be adding our component over here. That will be of the image component from our, okay, there is also an image component from the React Native, but we are, okay, so I got a spelling mistake. I said component component. I think we need to fix that as well. So image component, but let's go inside that, and I will have to rename this image component component. Sorry for that, it should be of the image component over here, and we need to go over here, and I guess I need to fix this one, image component from image component. Let's just fix the name over here. Okay, so we got that, but it looks really small over here. So what we'll do over here is we'll just go and adjust the height, let's say of the 200 by the 200 over here, and we got our image over here, right? So this is the local image that we have in our assets over here. And what we can do is we can also define this one as to become a circular image. So for that, let's just go and add the style over here. So I'll just go and set the border radius over here. So let's create the border radius of the 200 is the width. So I need to make it half to create a circular effect. So that will be of the 100 over here. So I got the circular image over here, and now we got the circular image over here. So let's just go and also add the border, I guess the border border color over here, and the border color will add the red, and let's also set the border width over here. So border width over here, and let's keep as for 2 for now. And I guess we got that one over here, right? Or you can also just make it as a small one, and we got that particular image with the rounded up corner as well. Sorry, the circular image with the border of the red color over here. And next we will see how we can load the image from the web, right? So let's just give some spacing, and I'll just say a view of the, let's say style of height of the 8, and below this one I'll just go and add the another image component over here. Let's just go and set it to the source, and in the source we will define the we need to define the URI. So let's just go and add the image over here, and I need to, let's just go and close this one first of all over here. Sorry for that. And the image is not showing here, so what we need to do is we need to go and create the let's create a logo style over here, and that we will define the height and the width for this particular image. And let's go down over here, let's provide the style over here, and that will be of the style.the logo over here. So now you can see that we got that particular image from the URL as well. And there are a couple of the properties that we can use over here. So let's go and take a look on the resize mode first of all. And using this resize mode, we can determine the size of that particular image, right, when the frame doesn't match. So there are a few things that we can use. One of the content, like the center, right? Depending on the resize mode, you can resize that particular image over here. And if you want to check the available, let's go and see what are the available over here. So let's just go and try to add the you can have center, you have the content, cover, repeat, and then the stretch. And you can go and look into documentation more about it and what each of these does. So if you want to cover, and if you want to say it as a cover, it will cover the available whole area for you. And if you set it as the, like, let's say repeat, I guess REP, I guess it's a repeat, right? So you can see it's going to repeat that particular image over here because that image is too small, and it will cover it. To cover this particular area, it will have to repeat that. So if I set this one to, like, let's say 48 by the 48, right? So it's going to get a smaller over here. So depending on your requirement, you can just look into how you are going to arrange that particular image over here. And if I just go and say it as the center, that's going to center that particular image within this particular height, within the height that we have provided over here. And also we can provide something like a default source over here. With the default source, we can give some default value, right? So once the image is loading, you can see some like, let's say a default source, which means that once it's going to get some value from this one, you can have this default source one before this is loaded. So it's going to take some time to get the image from here. So you can define some image from here, like, let's just go and give the icon. So assets start the, I guess we have the slash start the icon.png, right? And this is going to show you, so you can see that once it is loading, you will see that particular icon image, right? So if I go here and if I try to reload that, you will see that the icon is being loaded over there. So once we got that, we can also have some other properties, like you can call some methods over here. So on load, right? On load, or let's go and say on start. This is on start over here. On load start, I guess. So once this is loaded, you can once the image is start to load, you can just go and call some functionality over here. So this is the invoke on the load start, and it takes the function of the void. So you can just go and call that particular and log that one. So actually you can just go and call some functionality. So let's go and clear this one from here, and if you try to reload this application, you will see that the log of the start is being once this is loading. And also you have the on, I guess, on load over here, invoke when the load completes successfully. So on load, which is completed, it's done once the loading is completed. So I guess this is a function with some return some events, so it can pass the event over here. And that's the load completed completed over here. And let's try to go and clear this one as well, and you can just reload it over here, and you will see that on start is there, and load is completed over here. And then you can also have something like the on error, right? On load end, there are like, this is invoked. So like if you see the error, invoke when the load either success or fail, and this will be so let's just go and use the error. And in error also we get some error, so this one will be of the error over here, and error over here. So currently you can't test the error, so what we have to do is let's just make this one as the random image over here, and let's just go and clear. And if I try to reload over here, you will see that we got an error, and you got that particular the icon that we have default source over here. And on load end over here, right? So unload end that we have, and we'll just go and log that particular console over there, and I'll just go and clear this one, and let's try to reload this one. You got the start, error, and end over here. So start, right, then error, then end. This unload is not called because we didn't complete that particular load, because we got an error over there. And if I try to go and remove this one, let's try to clear this one and let's try to reload that, we got the start, load, complete, and then end. So there are a couple of interesting the method that you can use or the functionality that you can use over here. Make sure to go and check out from the documentation, because you can read the document and try to understand more about it. So I guess that's all on the image over here. We learned how to load the image from the assets full folder or local image, as well as from the image from the remote API. And also we learned some of the inbuilt methods that we can use over here. That's all for this lesson, and let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. So the next step, what we'll do is we'll try to learn the button. And a button is a really important component, because in any of the UI part you mostly require a button over there. So let's go to our component over here, and let's create the new file. Call this as buttn button component component over here. component component.tsx file over here. And okay, so I guess I made some mistake over here. Should be just rename this one over here, and I guess JSX, right, JavaScript XML file over here. And let's just go and create that one of the const of the button component component over here. And let's try to go and return not the text, but we will try to go and return button button from the React Native over here. And title, let's just keep some. Okay, so I just will remove this one from here, and we will go and export this one from here. Export the default button component, right? component, it should be component over here, component over here. And once we have that, we'll also go and create the style. You should know we also require a style over here, that is from the style sets. And we will create the container from here, container container. And let's just go and add the flex. I guess we'll add the one over here, and we will align item to be of the center over here. And background color, I guess we don't require the background color for now. And padding, padding of the 16, I guess that should be fine. And once I have that, let's just go to our app.js file. Let's comment out this one from here, and we are going to import our button component over here. And let's just close that one. And we got some error over here. We need to fix style sheet doesn't exist. I guess we haven't imported that one over here, so we need to import that one over here. So let's just go over here and style style sheet over here. That should be fine. Okay, so we got that. And we still got some error over here. So for this particular view, let's just go and add this style. First of all, the style will be of the style that the container over here. And let's just go and set this one over here. So let's just go and arrange this one properly over here. So let me just go and format the document properly over here. And then the button, this should be of the title over here, and click me over here. So we'll just go and say the click me over here. And the view doesn't exist, so view also doesn't exist, so we need to import the view as well over here. And now we got that, but we can't see that particular button over there. So what we need to do is we'll just go and let's just go and set the color over here. And color, let's just select some random color for now. And once we have that, let's just go and add the unpress over here. And once we press that one, we'll just go and log it over here. And this particular button, so we got some error over there. Okay, so we still don't see that particular button over here, so let's try to fix this one over here. Let me see what went wrong over here. Okay, so this should be of the style, not the styles over here. So we got that one. Click me over here, and by default it takes the native view over here. In the iOS you get this kind of a button by default, right? That's why we got that particular view over there. So let's go back over here. Let me clear it out, this one over here, and I can just go and press that one. You can see we got the press over here. So this is the default the view that we get. And if you try to open that one in the Android device over here, so let's try to open up the Android device over here. And here, if you load in the Android device, you will see that we got the click me over here as well. And let's go back and let's just go and add some more button over here. I'll just copy this particular view over here, and let me just add it over here. And let's just go and create the view with the height of the 8 over here. I'll just create some spacing over there, and here I'll just go and change the color. So let's just go and change that color to a different one over here. And over here on press is called whenever we click this particular button. So let's just go and call something over here like the alert from the React Native, and dot the alert, and button with the, okay, so button, I'll just say button PRESSET pressed over here. So I guess that should be fine over here, and we got that. So let's just try to click this one over here. Okay, it's not working there, so let me try to click it over here, and we got the alert dialog. Okay, so now we got that. I think this is loading quite slow in the Android device. So we got the nice alert by default over here. So here you can see that we don't have option to add the styles, or you can customize this button. It has the limited property. Make sure to go and check out the documentation about the React Native button. There you'll find a less props compared to the other UI. So if you want to create a nice looking or a custom button, you have to make use of a view or any other component or create a custom button over here. So I guess that's all for the button. Nothing much over here. We have a limited customization over here. Just remember, by default you get the button, and there's a title. You can pass some colors over there, and on press is important over here. So by default you'll get a pure native UI over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the scroll view over here. So once we have the large elements or the components inside of our screen, so we can scroll that particular screen in the horizontal as well as the vertical direction. So let's go back to our component. I'll create the new folder of the box over here first of all, and inside this let's go and create the box comp component over here dot the JSX file over here, not the KSX. It should be of the JSX, right? So I need to say it as a JSX, and let's just go and have the function. So const of the box component over here, and from here let's just go and return let's just go and return a view only from here. And from here I'll just go and export this particular default box component from here, and also let's create the styles from here. So that will be styles, and we need to create the style set that they create. So I need to import that particular view as well as the style set from the React Native over here. And let's go and create the container over here, and let's have the container, and let's define the style for this particular container. So I guess I'll just have the HEIGHT height over here, and height, let's just keep of the 100, and then the width, so for this width I'll just keep of the 100% over here for now, so that should be of the 100%. And I guess let's just keep background BSCK background color for this one, and let's just keep some red color for now. And once we have this, I guess we are good to go, and let's just try to close it in line over here. Let's just close this one view over here, so this will just return us some box over here which is of the height of the 100 and width is of the 100%. So it will cover the 100% of our screen, and we have the value of the color of the red. So let's go and create a new component over here that will be of the ScrollView component.djsx file over here, and let's just go and create the const of the ScrollView component over here, and let's just go and export this particular component first of all, ScrollView component, and we also need to create the const of the stylist styles that is from the stylesheet.create over here. And I guess we will just go and have the flexbox to flex of one background of the color. So I guess background we don't have to provide for now, but for the flex we'll just provide of the 16, and let's provide the padding of 16 for now for this particular container. And from here we will go and return from return a view that will be of the we need to style not the scroll view from the React Native. So let us return a scroll view from the React Native, and let's just close it below over here. And I need to import the style sheet, right? So we need to import that style sheet because we have used it over here. And inside this particular scroll view, now I can import that the box component that we have previously created over here, and I can also have the view that will have the height of the 8 for now. And once I have that, let's go back to the app.js file, and let's just comment this code, and let us import that particular ScrollView component, ScrollView component, another from the React Native. So let's go back and see what we have exported from here. Okay, so this should be of a scroll, not the scroo. So I need to have that. So let's go back. So let's just import that scroll view from our. Okay, so I can't find that particular ScrollView view component. So it's only from the React Native, but actually it should be from our component. So let's go back and let's see what we have done over here. ScrollView scro. Okay, so it should be of the double, so we have a lot of spelling errors, so sorry for that. So that's why we can't find that one over here. So scroll view, so by now we should be able to find that particular view over here. So now we got that particular view over here, right? So we got the red box over here, and what I will do over here, I'll just go to here. Okay, and in the scroll view, what we'll do is we will copy this one from here again, and let me add a multiple scroll view over here. Okay, so now we have the lot of the box over here. It should be scrollable now. So let's just add some more over here. Okay, so I guess that should be fine. So we got now scrollable content over here. So now you can see that we are able to scroll over here. So this is a vertical scroll. We can also create the horizontal scroll. So for that, what field over here is, let me just try to arrange this or the format this one. I'll just copy this particular scroll view from here, and let's just paste it below over here, so in case we want to have a reference. And I'll just go and comment out this one for the horizontal. So let's just go and comment this one as the verti vertical scroll scroll over here, and this one will be of the horizontal scroll scroll over here. And what I need to do is I need to just add one of the props which is of the horizontal, which will be of equals to true for now. And since this is a horizontal, what we have to do is we have to make a change to some of the style property. So we can't have the width of the 100% now, because we are scrolling to this side, right? So from left to right. So what we'll do is we'll just copy this particular style from here and paste it below. And let's just go and comment out this one, and I will just go and make this one as the height of the 100 as well over here. So height of 100 and width of 100. Now we can see that we got this particular view which we can scroll, but this is looks like just a one single box over there. So what we have to do is we have to change this one to the width width over here, so we can see some gap over there. So let's just try to set this one as a width for all of those components that we have over here, and I guess we will be good to go. So let's just replace this one over here. So a couple of the other one left. Okay, so we are good to go. So now if I go back from here, so I have a scrollable content over here which is on the vertical direction over here. So we have sorry, in the horizontal direction. So now we have the horizontal as well as the vertical scrollable view over here. And if you have a limited number of scrollable content, then it's good to make use of the scroll view over here. And later we'll also see how we can make use of the better performance for this particular scroll view using another way of scrolling. So later we'll see how we can do that using the FlatList over there. So let's go and see. You can see you have other option like the on I guess on scroll. So there is also a functionality on scroll, and this will give us some of these. Let's just keep let's just go and try to arrange this one properly over here. Now let's just try to arrange this one properly so we can see it clearly over here. And let's just try to close this one from here, and I guess that we should not have this one over here. Okay, so I guess let's just remove this one as well. That is not required, I think. Okay, so let me just try to format this one, and we have the on scroll, and on scroll will give us the event over here. So if you take a look, we get the event over here. So native synthetic event over here. So using this we can get some of the so let's just try to log the console dot the log. So let's just try to log this particular event dot the native event, that the control offset, and in the control offset you can get the x and y coordinate of that particular scroll. So you want to get like x or y, and if I just go and clear out this one, and we will just go and scroll this one. So let's try to scroll, and you can see that we got the coordinate of the x over there, right? So you can see the scrolling x coordinate over here. So that's cool. So we have a lot of other props that we can make use. So make sure to go and check out the documentation where you'll find a lot of other useful props that we can make use of over here. So these are the two props that we have make use over here, but there are more. So make sure to go and check out the documentation. That's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the flat list over here. And if you have a large amount of the scrollable content, then it is a best practice to put inside the flat list. So let us get started over here, and I'll go to my components. I'll create a new file over here, and let's call this one as a FlatList Component over here dot the JSX file, right?
And once we have that, let's go and create our component, which will be of the functional component of the FlatList component over here. And from here, let's go and export this one from here. That will be of the default of the FlatList component. And we also need to have the style, right? So const of the sty styles, which will be of equals to the style sheet that we create. So let's go and import our required React Native components. So style sheet, text and the text view, and also I will require here the FLAT flat list from the React Native. And from this component, what I'm going to do is I'm going to return from here and return a flat list. So FLAT flat list, and let's just go and close this one over here. And once we have this, we are good to go. So let's go to our app.js and let's just comment out this one from here, and we need to import the flat list component that we have just created over here, and let's just close it over here. And currently we have an empty list over here. So what we need to do is in order to make use of this particular flat list, we need to provide the data, and currently we will just provide a random number over here. So it's a list of 1 to 10 number, and here we just provided the data, but we also need to provide the render item property. So here we will get the item, right, as a parameter, and we just input return a text from here. So you can see that we got some output. Doesn't look good, but later we will fix that one. And it also gets the other properties like the index as well as the separator over here. So if you want to make use of those properties, you can get it over here, but we'll be just using the item over here. And for that, let's go and set the item below here. So for that, let's go and set the card, the CAR, the card, let's say card style over here. And for the card, I will just set the first of all the background color. So background color, I guess I'll define something like white, or maybe I can change it to the different color over here. And I guess we'll just go and change this one to something like a teal color, or maybe a lighter one. Okay, I guess that should be much more lighter over here. Okay, let's just select that one over here. And once we have that, let's just go and okay, the shadow off. I need to close it over here, and let's go and apply. So I have a border radius of, I guess we'll just make it as a 6, so we have some nice corner radius. Margin, I guess I will just remove the margin from here, and let's just give a shadow color and then the shadow offset of the width of 1 for now, and later we'll see how to change that one. So from here I'm going to return, so let's just go and remove this, and from here I'm going to return we'll return a view, so I can add the style over here. So style that the card over here, and with this style, let's just go and close this view over here, and inside this particular view, let's just go and add our text item. So let me just go and format the document over here, and now you can see we got that, but it doesn't look good. So what I need to do is I need to add the margin, let's say a horizontal of not the 16, so let's just go and set it to the 8 over here, and also a margin of the vertical over here, and that will be also of the 8. So now you can see we got some a better looking, but it doesn't still look good. So what we need to do is later we'll come back and create a much more nicer view over here. So currently we just have a simple list over here. What we will do is we'll try to create let's try to create the data, so we can create a custom data over here. So let's just create a custom data over there. So let's go back to the top, I guess, over here, and let's create the const of the let's just go and create let me just go and add, and I'll come back over here. And now you can see I have added a list of the items. So it has the property of the ID, title, and then the description. So this is a list of this particular item that we have defined over here, custom object that we have defined. So I have added up to a 15 list. So you can just go and add it by yourself, or you can just copy the source code from the GitHub repo over here. So once we have this particular item or the data, I'll just replace this one with that particular data that we have defined, right? I'll just go and define that one. And now what it says, objects are not valid as the React child has some error. So if you want to, okay, so I just need to render that particular. So from here, if I get the item, so this is an object. So what I have to do is item dot the title I have to define over here. So now I get that particular item over here, and also I need to show that particular description. So let's just go and show that particular description over here as well. And now you can see that we have some scrollable content over here. But let's go down over here, and I'll just go and add the text style over here. And let's just give a text style of the font size of the, I guess, not the particular color, but I guess I'll just give it as a color font size of the 20. As for the I guess we'll just make this one as the title over here, and then the font width to be of the bold over here, and let's give the DSCRIP description over here. And for this description, let's give a font size of I guess around I guess 16 would be fine. Let's just keep it as a 16, and let's go and add that particular style over here. Style would be of the title, and for this font, style would be of the description over there. So now we got that particular the title as well as the description over here. And let us also give the internal padding for this particular item. So let's go and set it inside over here. So the padding, I'll just keep it to around 8. I guess that would be better, so you can get some, if you want to change to a 16 pixel or something, you can change it. So now it looks much better. So we got that scrollable view over here, and I can just reload this one over here, and we got that over here as well. And I have added some elevation over here of the 4 to the Android device, you can see. And this elevation property doesn't work on the iOS. So what I have done is I have added the shadow property over here, which is a shadow color of the red, and then you can see the offset of the width and the height of the edge. So I have given a height over here, and then the shadow opacity of the 25. So you can increase this one to 50. So you can see that you get more of the shadow opacity over there. And I'll just make it as the 25 for now, and then you have the shadow radius of the edge. You can increase this one or decrease this one depending on your requirement. I'll just keep it as a 16 over here. So in this way I can add the for the shadow for the iOS, because the elevation is not supported on the iOS device. So we have the better looking card over here, and I guess that should be fine for now. And what I also need to do over here is I need to go and extract the key extractor, and sometimes it will give you an error, because if you don't have the ID defined over here, then it will give you an error. And it's always going to look for that particular unique ID in your list. So we need to extract that particular the ID over here, and let's go and extract that ID over here. So I'll just go and say the item, and then the item.id to be extract as the ID over here. So in this way we can extract the custom ID. By default it will always look for the item.the key. since we don't have that key property over here, so we need to have a custom extractor for this one, key extractor, and that will be of the key.id. So this id should be a unique id over here. If you have a duplicate id, then it will give you your list may get some error, so you have to take note, and it will not update correctly. So it will be used for catching as well as for the reordering of the item and all of the stuff. So you must provide a unique id over here to every list item that you have over here. So once we have that, that's cool, right? So we can also add some property like let's go and set the style for now, styl style, which will be of, I guess, a margin of a top to 98. I will set it as a 40, so it will just move something like a, let's say give it as a 50, so it can move some below over here. Okay, so we got that one over here and we got that over here, so we can see that clearly over here. And let me try to rearrange the reformatted documentation. And there are a lot of other props that you can make use with the flat list. Make sure to go and check out with the documentation. Let us try to see some of the property functionality that we can use. First of all, I'll go and say on refresh. So let us implement the pull to refresh over here. And currently we don't have that, so let's go on to the top over here. Let's just create one function over here. So let's say a function, and I'll just say on refresh over here, and let me just log that particular, and let's just go and add that to on refresh function call from here as well. And the refreshing prop, right, so the refreshing prop must be set. So currently we don't have. If you want to use the on refresh functionality, we have to set the refreshing functionality as well over here. So currently we will just set it to true. You will see that it is always loading over here. And for the iOS we can't see that, so let's just go and set it to the 100 over here. And you will see that once we set the pull to refresh, we are going to see that particular loading state over here. So it is always loading because we have refreshing is to set it to true. So what we can do is we can go and use the use state from the React. So let's just go and use this state over here, and I'll just go and set this to be of the false by default. And let's add the const of the refreshing and set refreshing over here. So using this one, I can define that one. So default value will be of the false. And on refresh, what we are going to do is we are going to set that one to be true. So let's set the refreshing to be of the true. And let's go and clear it out from here. And now I can do a pull to refresh over here. And you can see that we got the refreshing over here. And as well as over here, let's do a pull to refresh in Android. You will get loading state as well. So you can see that it is logging, which means that this functionality is called and our loading state is enabled over there. And also what we need to do is we need to disable this one. So what I will do is I'll just use a set a timer over here, set timer from the JavaScript to timeout onto the specific time over here. So let's just go and move this code over here, and I'll also copy this one over here and paste it below over here. So on refreshing completed over here. So let's just go and add that one over here, and I'll just define the refreshing timeout over here. So that will be something let's say around 2000, which is of the 2 second, and that should be good enough. So let's just try to reload our application, and now we don't have that refreshing. So if I go and pull to refresh over here, so you can see that it's going to, okay, so it's still not updating over here. So pull to refresh should be of the okay, so this one should be on the here, and then once after 2 seconds I need to disable that one to be of the false. So sorry for that, I made a mistake over there. So let's just test it out. So it is pulled to refreshing. After 2 seconds it should be dismissed and this functionality should be called. And in Android I guess we have some error on the loading, so let's just go and test it out on the iOS device. So it looks cool. So we have implemented the pull to refresh over here, and there are a lot of other props that you can go and make use, so make sure to go and check out the documentation. Till then, have a great day. Let us see how we can add the horizontal flat list over here. So previously we created a vertical list view over here, and for that what I will do over here is I'll just go and copy this section and paste it below over here, and let me just go and comment out this particular section from here. And here we are going to just add the horizontal property over here, which will be equals to the of the true over here. And once we add that, we have the horizontal nice looking view. But what we need to do is we need to set this particular height of that particular card view over here. So we have the card, and what I will do over here is we will just set the height to be of something like 200 over here. So we got the smaller the height over here, and you can see now we can scroll this one, the first item, second item, third item, and we can scroll in the vertical direction, sorry, in the horizontal direction, and we have some kind of the you can see the shadow that we have defined over here with a nice looking shadow as well. So that's cool. So we have also, okay, so in the Android it's not loading correctly, so what we will do is we'll just try to reload in the Android device over here. Let's try to reload in the Android device as well over here, and let's try to wait for this one to build up over here. So I guess it will take just a couple. Okay, so now we got that. So we got the horizontal scroll level list view or the flat list view over here. So why we have the flat list over here is the flat list is performant, and it only renders the UI that is onto the screen. So if that is over this particular screen, so we have a lot of other items available in the list, but only 2 items are shown in the screen. So only these 2 are rendered on the screen, which is much more performant than loading all of the list at the one time over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we created the simple horizontal flat list over here, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the activity indicator, which is basically used in the loading state. So let us go over here in our components over here, and let's create the new file, and I'll just call this one as loading component component, or you can just give any name, so JSX file over here. And let's go and create the cons of the let's create loading component component, and here we are going to return from here our let's go down and let's just close it over here, and let's go and export this particular file from here. And also let's go and create the cons of the styles, because styles, because we are going to require styles. And I guess I'll just set this one as a flex one, justify content to center, and then the align items to be of the center. And let's go over here, and let us go and have the view first of all. And inside this view, let us go and import the SCTRVI activity indicator from the React Native itself. And let's just go and have the style for this one, and style will be of the container style of the container.
And for this activity, I guess we can I guess we will just create the color, and I guess I'll change the color to be of different color, or you can choose a different color depending on your requirement. So let's just choose this particular color from here, and once we have this, we just give the size and then the color over here, and later we'll come back and see and we'll change that one. And now I'll just go and add the loading component over here, and I will just remove this one, or let's just comment out this one from here. Okay, we need to import that style sheet. We forgot to import that one over here, so styl in style sheet over here. So let's just import that one over here, and now you can see we got that particular loading state with that particular green color that we have defined over here. So there are very few properties that we can actually use over here, and we can just change the size to be of the large, or then the SMA small over here, and you will see that this is a small. All right, or you can use the large large. And not much properties you can not much props that you can use. Go make sure to go and check out in the documentation about the other props. Let's just open up the Android device and let's see how it looked like in our Android device over here. And now in the Android device, you can also see that it is loading over here with that particular green color. And there is one property which we can make use, which is of the animating, and which we can set it of equals to the boolean value, whether it should be of a true or the false over here. And if you set it false, then you will see that it is not loading over here. It stopped here, and you can see that it is removed from that particular view over here. And there is one more property. I guess we have the height when stopped, and I guess this will only work with the iOS device, and which is also takes the boolean value over here, true or the false over here. But what we'll do, we'll just remove this one for now, and this one you can set it as a state. So once the state is of the animating is of the true or the false, you can display this one over here. So you can have a state for this particular animating, which takes the boolean value over here. So I guess that's all for this particular lesson, and we just saw how we can make use of the loading state using the ActivityIndicator component over here. So that's all for this lesson, and let's meet up in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson, we are going to learn how we can create a switch which we can enable or disable. So let's go back to our component over here, and let's create the new file over here, and I'll just call this one as switch switch component over here .jsx file over here. And let's go and create the const of the switch component over here, and let's just go and export this particular component first of all. So export the switch default of the switch component, and we also require the styles over here, and let's go and create the our container, and I'll just create the flex one with the padding, and then the line item and the justify content to be of the center. And from here we will just go and return our let's go and return our view first of all from the React Native, and I'll just go and define the style to be of the style that the container, and let's just go and close that one. And once we have that, let's go and have the I need to import the switch switch from the React Native over here, and let me just close it for now, and let's just try to import our style sheet, right? So we need a style sheet over here, style sheet over here, and I guess that should be fine. So let's just try to format this particular document over here, and let's go back to the app.js, and let's try to remove this one, and let's go and add our switch component that we have just created, and let's close it over here. Now we got that particular switch over here, so it's looked like our native one. So you can see this is of the iOS style and this is of the Android style, but we need to still go and add some of the properties over here. It requires the value which is of true or the false. So once you set it true, then it is of the enable. So currently we can't disable because we need a state for that one. So let's go and make use of the simple use state over here. Use state hook from the React Native, and default value of to be of the false. And let's go and create the const of the let's create the enabled or each enabled and set enable value for this one. And we'll create one function over here, toggle the switch, and in this we'll set enable, and we are going to set not equals to the previous state, which will set if it is of it false, it's going to enable it that and set it to true. So here on the we have to set the on value change. I guess we have the on value change over here. We'll call the toggle switch from here, and value will be of our each enabled state that we have defined over here. So once we have that, what we are going to do is we can now see this is of the default value, which is of the false, and we can go and enable this one. So now let's go and we can enable that particular switch. So enable and then disable. So we get the native view over here, and let's try to change some color property as well. So we have the thumb color over here, and if it is of enable, then we are going to set off this color, otherwise we are going to set off this particular color. So if it is of enable, so this is a thumb color, you can see we got the yellow color over here, and if it is of disabled, we are going to change it to different color. So similarly that works on the Android itself also. So once it is of enable, we got that particular yellowish color over here. And we will also change, we can also change the track color over here. So if it is a false, then we have this particular color. If it is of true, then we get this particular color. Into the track color, it requires the false property and then the true property over here. So we have to provide the object over here, which is of the false and then the true value. So in the false we have this particular color, and in the true we have this particular color. And once you enable or disable, we are going to change that particular color over here. So there are other few properties that you can make use, like if you can change the iOS, I think it's an iOS background color, and you can define some color for that particular background over here. And you can see that we got that particular background color defined over here, right? So once it is off, it doesn't work in the Android, I guess, but I guess it's working as well, but this is just for the Android over here. So let's try to change that one to something different color over here. Let's keep the red over here. I guess that should be fine. Okay, so I guess that should be fine. And now you can see that we got that particular color in the iOS background, and in the Android it doesn't work. So you can see that this is only applied to the iOS background color over here. So I guess that's all for this lesson, and this is just a color value that we have to define over here. So I guess it should work with just a string value as well. So yeah, so it is working with just a string value as well. So that's all for this lesson, and make sure to go and check out the documentation, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the background image component. So let's go back to our components over here,
and let's create a one new file over here, and I'll just call this one as a BSCKGROUND background image component component.djsx file over here. And let's go and create the our component. So BSCK background image component over here, and let's just go and return from here. And for now, let's just go and export this particular component over here. That will be of the default background image component. And we also require the styles over here, styles styles, which will be of the style sheet.create. And let's add the container of flex1 with the justify content and the align item to be of the center. And from here, let's go and have our view from the React Native, and let's go and provide this style for this one, and let's close it over here. And here we are going to import our style sheet over here as well. And here let's go inside and add the background image background. I guess that should be of the not the background image image background. Let's import from the React Native over here image background, and we need to provide the so I also need to image background is imported, so I need to add the source, right? So we are going to use from the assets that we have. So if you can remember, previously we have added this particular supercar over here. All right, so we'll just define the source to be of our local. You can also set it to the remote. And let's go and add this style. So style, just remove this one from here, and we are going to define that particular style in our style sheet. So let's go below over here, and we'll just set the I'll just make it as an image, and with this image I'll just go and set the flex to be of the 1, because I just want to cover the whole area. And I guess we can make use of the justify content to be of the center as well. So let's just go and define the styles dot the we have the image over here, and let's try to rearrange this try to format the document, and let's go back to the app.js over there, and let's try to comment out this one, and let's import the background image component that we have, and let's try to close it over here. And I guess we are not seeing that particular image over here, so let's go and see what went wrong over here. So let's try to reload this one, and that image is not loading. So I guess that may be some error over here. So let's try to see what we haven't defined. So we have to set the resize mode over here, resize mode to be of the cover over here, and I guess that should work. But let's try to see why it is not working over here. I think we made a mistake over here. Since this is a background image, we need to provide the another component inside this particular background image in order to apply that particular background image. So what we have to do is we have to close this one over here, the background image, and inside this we need to provide our component that we want to have. So let's say we want to have a text over here. So let's import the text from the React Native over here, and let's just add a style of the void and then the hello world. So here you can see that we got that particular let's just go and add the text over here, I guess. So let's import the text text, and let's define the style for this one over here, and I'll just go and define some font size and font weight, text align, and then the background color. So let's just go and add that to of this one. So let's just go and say the styles the text that we have defined. So now we can see we got assigned that particular the text, and this text has the background of this particular image over here. So you can just go and play around with this one. If you don't provide the flex to this particular
image, you will see that it just covers that particular area over here. All right, so whatever the text size that we have, if you set this one to just a small one, then it's just going to adjust automatically depending on that one. And let's go and see if we can change some of the other properties. So let's just try to arrange the format this one over here. And the next what we will try to do over here, let us try to provide the background image for our view. So what we can do is we'll just copy this one from here and paste it over here, and let's just try to close it from here. So let's try to close that one, and I guess we have some errors. So let's try to arrange this document first of all. And okay, so it's closed over here, it should not be closed over there. And let's try to arrange the document over here, and we can't see that particular image. So let's just go and add the flex for this one to be of the one over here. And now you can see that we got that particular background image for our view as well. So once you applied the image background, we need to add the internal, or we need to add the child for that particular background. So this will be of our parent, and now this is of our child over here. So we also have the image background for our text itself as well. So you can go and play around and make sure to go and check out the documentation for this one, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the SafeAreaView. So let's go to our components over here and let's create the main file, and SafeAreaView Component over here, and .djsx file. And let's go and create the const of the SafeAreaView Component over here, and let us return a view and the text over here. And let's go and export that particular component from here, which will be default SafeAreaView. And let's also add the const of the styles, and we need to add the container which is flex1 padding, and then I guess we'll just remove the padding for now, and just remove this one as well. So we'll just add this particular flex1 over here, and I'm going to import our let's import the view text and the text style sheet over here. And I'll go and wrap this one with the root view with the safe area. So SafeAreaView from the React Native. So I need to import that SafeAreaView from the React Native over here, and then I provide the container to this particular view as well over here. And I guess that should be fine. And I need to close this one over here. So let's just go and close this one over here, and let's just go and add that the formatted document. And let's go back to our app.js over here, and I'll just go and import that the SafeAreaView component over here, and let's just close that one. And I need to comment out this one from here, and now you can see that we have it applies the safe area over here. So if you don't apply, it doesn't apply in the Android, but the safe area is only applied to the iOS. It provides the padding over here, so you can see that it doesn't go up from that particular screen. And if you go and take a look, and if you don't provide that safe area over there, you can see that it will move out of the screen, right? So if you provide the safe area, this safe area will help us to provide the boundaries or the safe area on the iOS device, so it doesn't go out of that particular screen. So these are the status bar, and you may have the app bar and the navigation bar and all of those stuff. So it will not go over that screen or the viewable or the usable screen over there. So it's really good to make use of the safe area in the iOS device, and it renders all of its content or the children that we provide inside the safe area, and it provides the required padding that to reflect to our screen. So whatever we don't have to provide from our the style sheet, provide the padding of the 50 or 100 to manually adjust. That is going to apply on the both of the Android and the iOS device. But once we use the safe area, we are completely safe in the particularly the iOS device over here. So that's all. Make sure to go and check out the documentation and make sure to read that particular documentation about the safe area. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lesson. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson, let us try to learn about the pressable component. So if you have any of the custom UI, you can add a pressable component to add a gesture detector. So whenever you just press or long press it, right? So whenever you just tap it, so you can detect that particular gesture over there. So let's go back to our component and let's create the a new file over here, and let's call this one as a pressable pressable component over here dot the JSX file over here. And once we have that, let's go and add the const of the pressable component over here, and let's just go and export this particular component from here, which will be of the export default pressable component. And let's also create the style styles for this one, and style sheet.create, and let's add the container over here, flex1 padding 16 align items, and the justified contents to be of the centers. And let's go and import our component over here. We require the style sheet text and then the text view. Let's also import the pressable over here from the React Native. And once we have that, let's go inside this particular component and let us go and return from here. Let us return a view first of all. So let's see a view over here, and let us add the style of that particular container that we have created over here. And inside this, let's go and add the pressable component, pressable, and let's just go and close this particular pressable over here. And inside this, I'll add the text over here, and let's just call this one as a pressable component, or let's call this as a component component over here, pressable component over here. And we'll go back to our app.js over here, and let's import that one, the pressable component that we have just created over here. And let's just comment out this one over here, and we got that pressable component over here. And currently it doesn't do anything, so let's go back over here, and I guess we'll create one the style over here. So button button over here. Let's add the button style for this one. So I'll just set the align items to be of the center, justify content to be of the center, background color or something like a light green over here. I'll add a padding of 10, and then the height of width of 200 and the height of 50, and also the border radius of 8. So let's go back and to our pressable component and add the style over here, which will be of the style.the-button. And now you can see that we got that particular nice looking UI both on the Android as well as on the iOS. So this is our component, or we can call this one as a button component, or the custom button that we have created over here. So now we need to add a press event over here. So let's go over here and add the on press over here, and on press we will call the function. So let's go and create a simple function over here and call this one as the on press over here, and we'll define or we'll call that on press over here. And now let's go and clear it out, this one over here, and once I click on this one, I got the on pressed over here as well as the on pressed over here. And there are others, a lot of the methods, so like the on long press over here, I can also call the on long press. And if I go back over here and let's just clear out this particular console over here, so we can clearly see that particular log. So if I press around a 500 millisecond, So you will get that on long pressed over here. So 500 millisecond, I'll get a long press, and if I just tap on that one, I get a button pressed over here. So that's the thing that we can do over here, and it has a lot of the other function that we can actually go and make use. Make sure to go and check out the documentation, like the on blur, on focus, on hover in, like, and on press in, press, on press in. All right, so you just call the console.log in. So if I go and clear out this one, if I press that one, you can see that in, and then the button pressed, and then like if I go and call this one as the on press on, press press out, and you can just log that one as well. So you can just go and clear it out this one, and you can just press on that one, in, button press out. So make sure to go and check out the documentation about it, and I guess that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we will learn about the modal in the React Native. So for that, let's go back to our component over here, and let's just go and create the one file. Let's say our modal modal component modal component .djsx file over here, and let's just go and create the const of the modal modal component over here, and let's just go and return from here a simple view for now, and let's go and export this particular export this particular component from here, default modal component over here, or it should be of the not the model, it should be of the modal model over here. Sorry for that, modal model component over here. And let's just go and also create the const of the styl styles, which will be equals to the styles.create, and let's just create a container for now with the flex of 1, padding of 16, align items, and the justify contents to be of the center over here. Let's just rename this one as well. This will be of the modal model. And let's go back to our app.js file over here, and let's just comment out this one from here, and we need to import that one over here, modal modal component that we just created, and let's just close it over here. And we haven't imported that particular object, so let's go back over here, and we need to import all of those. We need to import the view text and then the style sheet over here, and let us also import the modal model from the React Native also. So once we have this particular view, let's just go and add the style for this one from the style.the container over here, and we will have let's just go and add the let's just go and create our let's just go back to the pressable component, and we will grab this one from here. So let us just go and grab this particular button from here, and I will put below this particular text component over here, and I need to have that particular style as well, right? So let's just go and grab this particular style from here, and I'll just go and paste it below over here. So let's just paste that one, and we also need to import now the pressable component as well, right? So let's just import that one, and on press doesn't exist, so let's just go and copy that particular function. We have the unpress, let's just copy this one, and we require that one for now, and just remove the on long press for now. So we can remove that one from here, and I guess we will just close that one over here. So now we have the pressable component, so let's just go and call this one or something different, and let's just say open modal model over here. So once we click on this one, we want to open a model. So for this one, we'll also require some state. So let's import, or let's use the use state from the React itself. So let's just go and set the default value of to be false, and we'll just go and set the add the modal visible and set modal visible over here. So we will add those two. One is this is to the sorry, so let's go back over here, modal modal visible or set modal, so we can update the state over here. So once we have this one, what we can do is let's go to our unpress over here, and we will just set the set modal visible to be of the not of visible. So we'll just say if it is of false, we'll just set it to true. If it is of true, we'll just go and set it to false over here. And now once we have that pressable object, let's go here and I'll just create the modal model over here. And this model can have the some of the properties like the okay, just first of all, let's just go and I guess I'll just close it over. Sorry, let's just go and close it over here, and let's just have the some properties like the animation type to be of the slide. So you can have a different kind of the animation over here. So if I go, and you can have fade, none, and then the slide. And let's just go and add the you can also add the transparent, so whether you want to set it as a true or the false, right? So let's just set for now true, and let's just go and set to the visible, so whether it is visible or not, we'll set it to our state, the modal visible, right? And then we can like we can also add the one functionality which is on request close, right? So we'll just go and set the something like alert over here from React Native dot the alert over here, module has been closed or something, right? And then we will just go and set the set modal visible to be of the not the modal visible. So if it is of the true, then we'll just go and set it to the false. And other than that, I think inside this particular model, let's just go and try to format this particular document over here, and maybe we can add some view over here, right? So let's just go and add the view over here, and just add the hello text, and I need to close this one over here. So let's just go and close the view. I guess this is of the model, so I need to close that one over here. Let's close it over here first, and then we have this particular model. Now I can move this one inside of this particular model over here, and let's just close or remove this one. Let's just format the document over here, and we can also you can also add some style to this particular view over here. Let's just go and create some style over here for that one. So I'll just call this modal model over here, and let's just go and add the flex one, and let's just go and close this one from here first of all, and let's just say margin margin to be of the top. So let's just go and add the margin top around of 100 over here, and we'll also add the justify the content of to be of the center, and then the align item or the align, let's say items to be of the center as well. And for this one, let's just go and add the background color as well. And I guess I'll just go and set this one to be of the not the RGB. So let's just go and select some different color from here, and let's just go and have something a lighter color over here. And once we have that, let's go and add that one to this particular I guess this is the view that we have. So let's just go and set this style, and that will be styled at the model over here. And inside this, let us also add one more button over here, so we can close that particular model over here. Let's just add this one over here as well, and let's just go and format the document over here. So we have the one hello world, and then we also have one button over here, right? And then here we'll just say the close, right? So let's just call this one as a close. So let's try it out over here. Let's just go and restart our application, and let's try in the Android device. So now you can see we got that particular model over here with the background color, and I can just click on the close, so it will close over here. So I have that here, it's working fine, so I can just close it from here. So the view is transparent over here. So what you can do over here is, let's go back over here to our transparent to be of the false over here, and just close this one from here, and let's just try to open up here. And if I go back, and let's try to open it from here as well, right? And now the view is not transparent, right? So we don't see what is behind over here. So that's working fine. And let's just go to our Android. So let's just go to Android device over here, and let's just try to press the back button over here, and you will see that we got that the model has been closed. That is on over here, which is on request close has been called once we click on the back button over there. So just click on OK, and we are good to go over here. And just to make sure that on request close can be only used on the Android device, not in the iOS, because we don't have any back button or the hardware button over here. And make sure to go and check out the documentation where you have a lot more about the model, and you have a lot more props over there. So make sure to go and check the documentation and try to implement. So we have just implemented a simple model over here. So once we click on, we can open up that particular model over here. There are a lot of other props, so let us just try one more props over here on I guess on show over here. So this also takes the function, and we'll just log model has been opened over here. So let's just go and clear this one from here, and if I try to just open let's just open up this one, so you can see that model has been opened is called when we show that particular model over here. Just close it. Just open that one. It works both on the Android and the iOS device over here. So that's all for this lesson, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there, and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the section list. So section list is really useful if you have custom like the header, footer inside your list, so we can make use of the section list. So for that, let's go and get started over here. We'll go to our components over here, and let's create a new file called this one as SCCTRN section list component over here .jsx file over here. And let's go and add the const of the SCC section list component over here. And let us go and return let's just go return a simple view from here for now, and I'll just go and export this particular component over here. That will be of a default selection list. And let's also create the style styles, which will be of the style sheet that they create, and let's add the container for now. And I guess let's go and import the let's import our required component that will be of the view style sheet text, and we require also the section list, right? So we will import the section list over here, and from here let's go and remove this particular view. I guess we'll just set the safe area view over here, and with this safe area view I'll wrap my SE section list over here, and with the section list I'll just go and close it for now over here. And let's just go and add the we require some of the properties. So for now we'll set the sections,
And for that sections, let's go on to the top over here and let's create our const of the data which will be of the list over here, right? So let's create the empty list for now, and that should be fine. So once we have the empty list, we can define that particular data over here that will be of the data over here. So once we have that, we also need to have the render render item, and we get the item from here, and currently we don't have any of the item over here. And let's go and add the, there are a couple of other properties we can add. The let's just go and add, if the item is of empty, we want to show something over here. So let's go and add that one over here. So for that, we'll make use of the list, I guess, empty component over here. So once the list is of empty, we want to show the empty data over here. And let's go back to our app.json and let's go and import our section SectionList component that we just created over here. And let us close this one over here and let us comment this one out. Sorry, not that one. We need to comment out this one from here. And let's go and take a look. So we got the empty data because currently we don't have any of the data required, right? And if you go to the flat list, we can also copy some of the component from here. So I can just make use of this particular functionality from the flat list. Let's paste it below over here. So we also need to import the use state from the React over here, right? So once we got that, and I can just go to here and set the refreshing that we have to the of the refreshing, and on refresh we want to call our function on refresh over here, right? So let's go and have that pull to refresh. I think we can't use that one. Okay, so that list is really empty over here, so we have to do on to the top over there. So what we will do over here is let's go to our this particular SafeAreaView, and we will add our style to of the container over here for now. And let's try to do the pull to refresh. So now we can see that we applied that particular container and we are able to see that particular pull to refresh over here, right? So that's cool. So the pull to refresh is also working. So now let us go and fill in the data. So I'll just fill in the data and I'll come back over here, and later you can copy the code from the GitHub. And now I have added some data over here. You can see that we have a title or main dish, and then the title side dish, title drink, and title desserts, and then we have the data for each of those, right? So let's go to our data over here, and in the render items we are just rendering for currently the item dot the title over here. So you can't see that. So let's go and add the let's go down over here, and I guess we can add the header first of all. Render and the render the selection, right? So render the section as you see section header over here, and this will we want to add the title over here. So we will set the section to be of the title over here. So now you can see that we got the title of main dish, side, drink, and then the dessert. So that is what we have as the title over here, right? So we got that particular title over here, and later we will add the we will format that one. So I guess for now align items to be of the we don't want it to be of the center. Let's have to be flex start for now. So it went to the flex start, and that should be good enough. And let's go back to our render item over here, and let us try to render our item over here. I think for this one what we'll do is we'll go to our flat list and we'll copy our this particular view from here. So let's just copy this one from here,
and let's go back to over here, right? So this one is the one that we require. So let us go and return that particular view from here. Let's just go and arrange this one properly over here, and we also require the style over here. So for that we require a card. So let's just copy this particular card from here, and let's go and paste it below over here. So let's just go and add the card over here, and now let's go and have that. Okay, so we got error so here. So what we need to do is we need to, I think, put the, okay, so we got some error. Let's try to fix this one. So I guess this should not be here. Let's try to fix this error over here. I guess we haven't closed this brace over here, so let's just go and close that one. Yeah, so that's the difference. So we don't have the description item, the description. We can remove this particular description from here, and so now you can see that we got that. So I guess we have some the error over here. This each of the horizontal padding. So I guess we copied the, I guess did we copy the correct one? So I guess that should be fine, and I guess that should be fine. So let's go and take a look why it is only in this particular height over here, or height and the width. So I guess we have defined some height and the width over here. So we got the height of the 200, so I'll just define as the 100 over here for the card height over here. And let's take a look of the width. Have we defined the width over here? It may be because of the justify content over here. So let's try to remove this one from here, and also let's just remove this one from here for now. So let's try to remove all of those. Okay, so now we got that one because of that particular style. So our style was not working correctly. So now we got that particular, okay, so we got our the item over here, but we can't see that particular item. So we don't have that particular style, so we need to copy the title style from here, and let's just go and paste it below over here. So this will be of our title style. So let's just go and see what we have defined over here. So we have the card, and then the text style should be of style dot the title that we already have, and item. So we don't have the title over here in the item, so we'll just go and render the item itself, right? So we want to render the item itself over here. So item, if you go to our data, so these are the item that we get. So ice cream, cheesecake, and the ice cream are our item that we have defined. So now we got that pizza, burger, and then the rest over here that we have defined over here. So it's working correctly. So now we have the main dish. These are the title that we have defined over here. So it's working well over here. So what we need to do next is let's go and add some style for this particular header. So let's go on to below over here, and I'll just replace this one to be of the item, right? So that, I guess that will be much more better. So these are our item style dot the item over here, and I'll just make it as a 16, and that should be fine. And let's go and have the header style over here, and header style will just say a font size of, let's say, of 20, and I'll just go and give this some color. So background color for this one, and let's just go and define some background color for this one. And let's go to our the header that we have defined over here, and let's add the style for this one. So style will be of the style sheet dot the header for this one. So now you can see we got that, and I guess that's not the good color. So let's go and change that particular color to something matching color for that one, and I'll just make it some lighter color. I guess let's just go and add to the green itself. So let's just go and set this one to be of the, okay, so I guess that should be somewhere here. So let's just make it a bit darker over there, and then we'll just set the color of this particular font
to be of the white over here. So now we got that one over here, and I guess we will just increase the font size of the 24, or let's just make it a larger one, 34. So now we got the larger one over here. That's good. So now we got our selection list. We have the header as well as we have the item for that particular each of our section, right? So in this way we can add that. We can also add the other properties, and we'll just go and try some of the props, but make sure to go and read the documentation and try to implement much of the props that you can define over here. Let's try to add some over here. So I'll just go and add something like the list footer, or let's say a list header component, and I'll just say this is of the food over here, and let's try to see that we got that one over here. And I'll just go and add the list, I guess we have the list footer component, and we'll just say this is of the footer. And I guess, yeah, at the end of that we will see that we are here. So end of list or something, so that we know that we are at the end of the list over here, right? So we are adding. So there are a lot of the other props that we can make use, like the if I go in here, if I just go and set the and render the render, I guess the section footer over here, and here we will just go and add that particular footer. So each of these particular section has its own footer, so you can just go and say that this is of the footer, right? So I guess that's all for this lesson. In this way you can just go and customize your section or the section list over here. It has a lot of the customization that you can do, and in the performance way this is also as good as the FlatList that we have, FlatList component that we previously did. So now we have implemented a lot of this stuff over here, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Make sure to go and check out the documentation for this one. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the virtualized list over here. So in the previous lesson we learned about the section list. So let's go and create our component. So I'll go and create a new file over here, and we'll call this one as virtualized virtualized list component over here .jsx file over here. So let's go and create the const of the virtualized list component over here. And for now let's just return a simple view from here, and we are going to export this one from here, and let's make this one as a default virtualized list component. And I guess let's go and have the style sheet. So const of the style style sheet over here, and I'll just add the container over here. So let's just add the, let's just not set the line items and the justify content. I'll just set the flex and the padding of the 16, and I'll just go and import our components over here. That will be of the view, text and the style sheet from the React Native. And we'll also require here another one is the virtual virtualized list over here. And once we have that, I guess I'll just remove this particular thing from here, and I'll just also include the safe area view over here. So we can just go and add the let's say safe area view over here. And once we have the safe area view, I'll just go and add the style for this safe area view to be of our style.container over here. And I'll just go to my FlatList. We have some data over here. Let us just copy this particular data from here, and I'll go to my list over here, a virtualized list, and let's just go and paste that particular data over here. and let's go down over here and let's add our virtualized list over here. VIR, right, virtualized list over here, and let's just close this one over here, simple close over here, and let's just try to arrange the doc over here. And I'll go to my app.js and I'll just replace this particular component with our virtualized list component that we have just created over here. So we have to there is some error, right? So we need to fix, so get the item count props. So we need to get the item count over here. So let's just close this one over here, and then the get the item count over here. So what is the item count that we want to set is the data.the length over here, and then the props get item is not a function, so get item count. So we also need to get item over here, so that are the required so here we need to get the item over here. For this get item we require the data and then the index. So let's go and add that one over here. So the ATR data and then the index. So we still got that I cannot read the property data, so we need, okay, so this is object destructured, so we don't need an object destructure because it doesn't require over here. So we get the data and then the index from here, and now we set the virtualized list, the list item component render item props is required. So we also require another which is of the render item over here. So how we are going to render that particular item over here. So we get the render items, give us the item, right? So what we need to do is we need to return from here our view. So I guess we can go to our flat list over here, and in the flat list we have our view that we have created previously over here. So let's go and have this particular view from here, and let's just go and paste it below over here. So we'll just return this particular view from here, and now we can get that particular view already over here. That's cool. So this particular item we get the ID, title and description, right? And once we have that, what we need to do is we need to go and get that particular card over here. So let's just copy this particular card from here and paste it below over here. So we have that particular card over here, and now we will also go and define our title and then the description. So let's go and copy this one from here, and let us go and paste that particular over here. So now we also got that particular our view over here. So the height is of the 200, right? So I guess I don't need to have for 200 over here. Height is of just 100 over here. I guess that should be of the fine over here. So now we have the list which is of the virtualized list, and if you need more customization than what is provided on the flat list and then the selection list, we can use our virtualized list over here, right? But if you have a very large list that need to be rendered and you need some more customization that is not provided on the flat list and then the section list, then you can go and use the virtualized list over here. So this is the base of the flat list and then the section list that we previously used. So it has a lot of more props. Make sure to go and check out the docs, and there you will find a lot more properties or the props for this particular virtualized list. We'll just cover the 3 required params over here, but you can go and make use of all of those props. You can also add the key extractors that we always did previously. We already did that particular, right? So we want to extract it from the item.id, because we need to pass the unique ID to our list item over here. And also you can just set the
initial number to render over here, so I'll just give as a 3, so only 3 items are rendered. And this, you can see that how many items to render in the initial batch. This should be enough to fill the screen, right? So here I guess we need to fill the screen 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So I guess we can provide the 8 over here to fill the screen over here. And 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. I guess 8 is enough to fill our screen, so we will just initialize to render the 8 item first. So once we scroll below over here, so it's going to render the rest of the item. Like if the 9th item is shown on the screen, so it will just render that particular item, and rest of the item that is not in the screen or out of the screen are not rendered over here. So that gives the performance boost as well as the memory consumption and all of those stuff over here. So if you really need a performant list view over here, then you can go for the virtualized list, which provides all of those over here. But basically we'll just make use of the flat list or the section list over here. So that's all, and make sure to go and read the documentation, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And today we are going to learn about the refresh controller. So you can make use of the refresh controller inside of your scroll view or the list view, where you don't have the refresh controller like we got in the flat list or the section list, or that we previously used of the virtualized list. So let's go to our component over here and let's create the new file over here, and let's call this one as refresh control over here, component over here dot the JSX file over here. Let's call and create that component. So refresh ref control component over here, and let's just go and return a simple view for now, and let's export that particular view from here. And we also require the styles from here, and let's just go and create this particular style over here, and let's go and import our required components over here. We require the style sheet, text, and then the text view. So let's just also add our refresh controller that we are going to make use over here, and also we will require the scroll view over here. And let's go to our scroll view component that we have previously defined. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this from here. So let's just go and copy this whole from here, right? I'll just copy this one from here, and I will just go and paste it over here, and we need to uncomment out this one from here. So I'll just go and uncomment over here. So we also need to import that particular box component that we have created. So let's go and import that one over here, so the box component, and I guess that should be fine. And let's go to our let's go and wrap this scroll view inside the safe area view from the React Native, just for our the iOS device over here. And let's move this one inside of that particular safe area view, and I guess I'll just format this particular doc. Let's go to the app over here, and let us go and comment out this one from here, and let's just go and add our component that will be of the refresh controller component that we have just created over here. So here we got that particular, okay, so we got that, and here we also got that. And let's go to our, okay, so let's go and take a look at what we have defined in the box. The box is looking, so here
I guess for the width we are going to make it as the 100% over here, so it can cover up the whole area for that one. Okay, so we already got that one, so let's just comment out this one from here. So we'll make use of this one from here, and we got that one over here. So we got that particular box, right? But what we need to do is we need to add a refresh controller over here. So currently it doesn't have any refresh controller, so we'll go to over here, and let's go to this particular scroll view over here. And in this scroll view we will add the let's go and add the refresh controller. So ref refresh controller over here, and here we need to provide the what we are going to do with that. So let's go and add our refresh controller over here. So I guess we'll just break the line over here, and here we are going to return our refresh controller over here. So let's go and see that the refresh controller control component used to provide a pull to refresh functionality to the scroll view. So we need to provide the pull to refresh functionality. So refresh controller also takes the refreshing as a false, and then the on refresh function. So if you can remember previously, whenever we were using the pull to refresh in our flat list as well as the section list, we use this one over here. So I guess I have to remove this one from here. It's having 2 times, so I need to put the unrefresh over here. So let's just go and format the doc over here. So we got that, so we just want to log pull to refresh. Otherwise you can just go and copy what we have over here, the on refresh function. Just copy this one from here. Okay, so I need to grab this one from here, and let's go back to over here, and I can just paste this one over here. And we require a use state from the React itself, so we need to import that one over here. And now I can go and set this one to be of the refreshing, and this function we need to call this particular on refresh function over here, right? So let's go and call the sorry for that, it should be this function we need to call it from here. So just remove this one from here and paste it that one over here. Okay, so we got the error, so I need to fix that over here. Okay, so let's go and see. Now we can see that we got that particular pull to refresh inside of our scroll view. So we can just scroll, and we got that pull to refresh implemented inside of our scroll view. So I guess that's all for this lesson. We learned how we can implement the pull to refresh inside of our scroll view. So let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day. Yeah, hello there and welcome back, and let us continue with our lesson over here. And in this lesson we are going to learn about the keyboard avoiding view component. So whenever you have the whenever we make use of this particular view, it will readjust or position our virtual keyboard or the soft keyboard automatically, so it doesn't hide our view behind. So let's go and see how it works, and I'll just go and add the new component file, or let's just copy what we have in the input text component. So I'll just copy and paste it over here, and I'll just go and rename this one to be of the, let's go and rename this one, and that will be of the keyboard, right? So I need to have the KEYBOAR, the keyboard, AVOIDING, avoiding view over here, view component. So we'll also refresh this one as a KEYBOAR, the keyboard, avoiding AVOIDING, avoiding view component over here. And let's just go and export that one from here as well, and I'll export that one. And then in the import we also need to import that one over here. So let's just go and KEY, keyboard avoiding view over here, and I'll just go and wrap my whole view over here. So just add the keyboard avoiding view over here, and I'm going to add this particular view that we have over here inside that particular keyboard avoiding view. So I'll just go and rearrange the code over here. So now we put everything inside the keyboard avoiding view over here, and I'll just go back to my app.js and I'll just comment out this one over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that the keyboard avoiding view component that we just created over here, and let's just fill that one. And okay, so soft input, here you can see that it is on the top over here. We can't see that one, right? So if you go over here, you can't see that one over here. That's because I guess we have that let's go over here, because of this particular container and style that we have defined over here. And also for this particular keyboard avoiding view, we need to provide the behavior over here. So in the behavior, let's just go and add the behavior for the platform.the.os. If it is of the iOS, we are going to add the padding, and if it is of the Android, then we are going to add the height over here. So in the padding, you have the height, position, and then the padding. So you can define this particular behavior. So we are going to add the padding and then the height based on the platform. So if it is of iOS, we are adding a height over here. And once we have that, I guess I will just go and remove this particular view from here, and let's just go and add that outside of those particular view, and let's just move this one out of this one, and let's just go and format this particular doc over here. So now you can see that we got at the center of the screen over here, but it doesn't look good over here, right? So what we can just say is I'll just go and remove this particular container from here, and now you can see that align items, and we got that the full view over here. But what we want to do is let's just go and add some more input over here. Let's just go and reload this particular view over here. And once we have restarted, if you take a look over here, right, so once I click on this one, it automatically tries to push that particular, it automatically tries to adjust this particular view, and so it doesn't get hidden by that particular keyboard over here. So if you go to the Android over here, so let's just go and hide this particular keyboard from here, and if I click on this one, so you will see that it automatically try to adjust this particular view. Currently we don't have a scroll view over here, and that's why it's not working as expected. We can also put inside this scroll view over here, because this is a scrollable content now. It overflows this particular view over here, and also over here, so it is trying to adjust that particular view over here. So once we make use of this particular let's go on to the top over here, and this is of the keyboard avoiding view. So it tries to add the padding, or it tries to add the height depending on our platform, if whenever this particular soft input keyboard is shown. So it does not, the view is not hidden behind this particular soft input keyboard that we get over here, right? And let us try to go and change the type over here. So the behavior type, currently we are using the height and the padding. So you can see that it doesn't work as expected. So what we want to do is we want to push this one up once the soft keyboard or soft input is shown. So I'll just go and replace this one with the a position over here. So once we set the position, it should move that particular view. So let's go and restart the app over here. And so now you can see that it is trying to adjust that particular view for us. So if I click on this one, and you can see that it is trying to adjust that particular position for us. Similarly here, it is trying to adjust that particular position for us automatically. And what we can also do is let's go and wrap this one with the scroll view, SCROLL scroll view from the React Native. And we will try to move this one inside of that particular scroll view.
So let's just go and move this one inside of the scroll view, and let's just try to arrange that particular dock over here, and let's just reload the app over here. And if I go now, you can see I can scroll this particular content. So if I go and click on this one, it is trying to add that one over there, right? And similarly I can scroll over here. So if I click on this one, so I guess it is not working as expected over there. So let us go and click out over here, and let us show and our keyboard over there. So now it will try to adjust that particular position for us automatically over here. So I guess you got the point. So if you want, you can also replace that one. So let's go and set the new one over here, and let's just go and set this one as the last or something over here. So set the last, LAST, last value, and we'll go and replace that one from here in the set the last one, and this is of the last over here as well. Let's go and reload the app over here, and once we have that, let's just go and hide this one, and we'll set this one. So now we can set that one over here, and then we can easily distinguish that it is pushed out of this particular over here. So the keyboard doesn't hide that particular view over here as well. And similarly I can just go and click on this one, and let's just go and show the keyboard over here. So now we can type in over here as well. So just go and make sure to play around and try to adjust your view, and it is really useful once we have the form or something that user wants to input over there. So that's all for this lesson, and we will meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.